Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
4th of July savings are here at the Home Depot, so it's time to get your grilling on. Pick up the Traeger Pro Series 22 pellet grill and smoker, now on special buy for $389, was $549. Smoke a rack of ribs or bake an apple pie. This grill is versatile enough to do it all. This summer, no matter how you like your steaks, your barbecues are guaranteed to be well done. Celebrate 4th of July with fast free delivery on select grills right now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability.
Let's go. It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on for your Monday afternoon.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
Here we go. The Monday, June 23rd edition of the LA Afternoon Drive Takeover on a Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday. Sedano brought you Game 7 of the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio last night as the Thunder take down the Pacers.
Hold on. Isaiah Hartenstein is coming over to hug Jalen Williams. Dub, you and the OKC Thunder are NBA champions. How does it feel?
Bro, I don't know. It's crazy, bro. I'm going to cry if I keep talking about it, bro. I'm excited. I can't lie.
We'll talk about that and the Tyrese Haliburton injury and all the details from the game, including Sedano going after a couple of listeners last night on Twitter. Who doesn't like fired up Sedano?
Oh.
I'm on with Sedano.
Followers.
Maliava, because I thought it was like I'm a leaving.
A duck butt. What is that?
Meanwhile, we'll hear more from Cappy and his weekend getaway with Rachel. Plus the usual fun and frivolity. Producer Funches Lover is sitting in for producer Lindsay Baseball today.
Whoa, man, I didn't know they come up on the glass.
We got Young D, Producer D, and more. Let's do it.
Hey, Jerusalem Cherry. He likes to lay the wood. Yeah. You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse.
Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like,
how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger.
Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back in Dayton.
You are a bit killer. Because you got to talk about sperm? I mean, look at me. I'm a hot piece of ass. I mean, look at him.
The LA Afternoon Drive Takeover, Sedano and Cap. Your Monday afternoon right now.
By the way, I almost went home to do the show after NBA today, and my wife tells me the internet's down, so that would have been disastrous.
Oh, man.
I mean, Cox just can't get anything right, even
Come
when it's set up.
Cox.
You know?
Come on. Get Georgie his Cox. Come on.
Jeez.
So listen, let me jump right in, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine what you must feel like today.
Yeah?
Because, look, you've been out hustling now for the last 2+ weeks with the finals. Previous to that, it was a month and change with the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Previous to that, it was out running around calling games all over the place. So, oh my God, the basketball season has finally come to an end.
Right, for a few weeks.
Right. Maybe I could catch my breath for I don't know, a day, maybe 2. Who's the boss at ESPN that says, hey, as soon as the finals are over and you get done with all the post-game interviews, and you go back to your hotel and you sleep for 20 minutes, I want you to get on a plane, get your ass back to L.A., and when you do that, don't just go on the radio with your regular radio show from 3 to 6. Do me a favor, will you? Go host NBA Today. I mean, my goodness, they don't.
Well,
I
didn't really do anything beyond my will. It's not like anybody was like forcing me with like a gun to my head or anything.
Oh,
like
I thought they did. I thought that's what the deal was.
That doesn't happen at the Walt Disney Company.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yes.
No, but seriously, dude, credit to you, George. First of all, congratulations on another amazing run broadcasting the NBA Finals. The luck, as it were, and I think we all know luck is kind of that intersection of preparation meets opportunity. You got lucky with a couple of broadcasts that were on TV, which was awesome for you. Also great for the show if I'm being selfish about it. But and then the last night, all the post-game stuff, to get on a plane, turn around, get back here, and get on to NBA Today. And by the way, look fresh. You look fresh like a daisy, baby.
Good makeup.
Seriously, great makeup.
Yeah.
I mean, I did hear like a little scratch, like a little fatigue in the voice. I was like,
yeah, I've got a little like scratchy throat going on.
Yeah, because honestly, at first, I wasn't seeing you. I was hearing you, and I thought it was Reese Davis hosting NBA Today. Like, it didn't sound like you at first. But I got to give you credit, man. And now that I've given you all this credit, and here's your flowers. You know I don't like to give out flowers, but here's a big old fat bouquet.
You're not a flower giver.
Tell me, I want to hear what happened. Game ends. Post-game
I
interviews.
felt terrible for the Pacers.
Oh, first of all, right on.
They were so. By the time I was done with the stuff on the floor, our green room is right next to their locker room.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to walk back there and past their locker room, and guys are crying, man. Like they were that close, and they fought their asses off. Like, and I'm glad people tuned in to watch. The number was pretty good. It was a lot more than what people had been watching previous to the series, the first 6 games of the series. And I think Game 7, a winner go home kind of situation, does that, right?
Game 7, and also on a Sunday evening.
Correct, for sure. But it was tough. Like walking back there, seeing guys like Obi Toppin who were so nice and great to deal with. Crying. Siakam wasn't crying, but he was just kind of sitting there and just kind of like staring into space. You know what I mean? Like you see people, because you're on the floor with the people who won, and they're going nuts. I mean, you heard Jalen Williams in that interview I did with him as soon as he came to me, and they're all having a blast. But then you see the other side of it where the guys are really distraught, and then there's the Haliburton aspect of it. And when we were walking out of the building, we ran into him on the way out, just kind of, Mike Breen and I were walking together, and, Mike said something to him. I couldn't hear what he said, but I just said, hey, man, you were incredible this postseason. Just, want to wish you a speedy recovery, And he was like, no, thank you. And that was it. But it was weird. It's just, because of where we were situated, to walk past the losing locker room and see all those guys in the hallway and whatnot. With their families and whatnot. It was a tough scene is what I would say.
Well, let's pause on the Haliburton thing for a moment, okay? Because here's the deal. Last week, it was Game 6, I believe, was Thursday of last week.
Yeah.
And you had left us to go do the game.
Right.
And Beto and I were on the air together. Mm-hmm. And I remember the conversation that Beto and I were having, which was, if you're Tyrese Haliburton, no matter what, find a way to get me on the floor.
Right.
Shoot me up, tape me up, give me pills, I don't know, whatever it takes, get me on the floor.
Yeah.
Because I can't worry about next season and I can't worry about my future.
Yeah.
I'm here in the NBA Finals.
Right.
And we're at Game 6 when most people thought we would never make it to a Game 6.
Right.
So for me, the way I think about things is I'll lay my life on the line for the moment. And that's an exaggeration, of course. But that's what Haliburton did, essentially. He put his whole future in jeopardy, not knowing whether or not he could get through Game 6 or Game 7 healthy. And I give that kid all the credit in the world. The most clutch shots he hit the entire postseason. The shot in New York with the chokehold, which was unbelievable. He really had an incredible postseason. But the one thing, George, was if a calf injury turns into an Achilles tear.
Right.
If that happens, well, guess what? I've got no choice but to roll the dice right now. We're here. There's no guarantee I'll ever get back.
Yeah, look, I've talked to a lot of people not with the Pacers, just like former players and people involved with the game, in the aftermath. And they all said there's not a guy that wouldn't have played in that scenario.
Of course. And you know what? The sad part of it is that what we were talking about was theoretical.
Right.
Hey, he's got a calf strain. There are examples of guys who've gone from calf strain to torn Achilles. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But it's until it happens. Like when you see him fall to the ground and you see him hitting the floor, and then you see the replay, and it doesn't take an orthopedic surgeon to figure out what just happened.
You see it right away. Yeah.
We've all seen now Achilles tears, and we all know what they look like on television.
Yeah.
And to see that kid writhing in pain and knowing that he gave it everything he had throughout the regular season, a playoff run, 6 games and 1 quarter into the finals, and by the way, on fire in the early part of the game. And there he is laying on the ground, essentially crying in pain. And I know for me, I mean, this is now being selfish, I've made a bet on the game because I was like, you know what? I took Indiana. I'm going to roll with them. I took them this far. Let's roll with them. And at that point, no matter how well they played in the first half, and even if they took a lead into halftime, the likelihood of them winning without Tyrese Haliburton was almost zero.
Yeah. Although, again, to your point, they battled their asses off. Like, they really did. And that's why, when we were all texting during the game, and I just said, this isn't over. Like, it's not over by any stretch of the imagination. And, look, OKC does what OKC does. Eventually, they ramp up the pressure. You start to see them pick you up full court. Lou Dort and Alex Caruso specifically. And then that changes the dynamic. By the way, I actually feel like a big reason why Indiana was able to stay in the game was because I think both teams were a bit shell-shocked, if I'm being honest, as I was kind of going between huddles, because OKC had a specific plan to play them defensively with Haliburton on the floor and had to adjust that kind of on the fly. And certainly at halftime, they defended them way differently and realized that they can get them to turn them over. The stat to me that told the game was, and look, OKC has been the best third-quarter team in the sport this year coming out of halftime. They outscored them 18-0 off turnovers in the third quarter alone, and that was it.
Yep, that was over. And as much as Indiana had made all these dramatic comebacks throughout the postseason without Haliburton, and not just without him, but the way he got hurt in the moment, it just, the emotion of it all, it was going to catch up.
No, but I'm
going to
give the Pacers a ton of credit. Pascal Siakam, I reported this on radio, and I know Lisa did as well in the on television, that Siakam immediately grabbed the group and was like, God, what did he say? I don't
know, but they showed it on TV.
Yeah,
they showed it.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Well, not only did you write it down, you were texting us. It was like having my own individual personal sideline reporter there at the game.
Yeah, well, you said to keep doing it.
I know.
So Siakam said, guys, we're still in this. We can't keep forcing it. Got to move the ball and play our game. That's what he was telling those guys when they showed him in the immediacy of Haliburton, rather, being carried off. Yeah. So I give them a ton of credit.
So do I. I wish I could argue that.
I mean, they're heart and soul, like you like.
Yes, they are. Hey, listen, I'll say this, George. I actually thought one of the things that was super interesting is in the aftermath of the game, the number of questions that SGA took about Haliburton.
Yeah.
Because it's as if I think what people were thinking was, gosh, if Haliburton doesn't go out with this injury, how different might this game be? How much closer might it be? Could Indiana possibly have shocked the world and won this thing?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, I doubt it, but maybe.
Well, but we'll never know. So it's
we won't ever know.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it definitely would have been a different game.
Oh, I 100% agree with that.
And it really took America 7 games to finally go, you know what? I want to know what's going on here.
This series has some pizzazz.
It did.
Yeah.
It did in Game 7. That's for sure.
Yeah. It had a lot of pizzazz.
Punchy watching, too.
What's that?
Game had Punchy watching, too.
I know.
Punchy,
The whole
Punchy
thing.
wasn't at the Korean barbecue place.
No, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah. Wasn't at Olive Garden or anything.
No, I got a tomahawk steak at home, and I
look
watched
at
the whole
that.
thing. Yeah.
Tomahawk.
Really?
That's right.
Who got that?
My cousin, actually. It was his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Right on. Way to go, cuz.
All right. Well, we can talk about this and much more, Cappy. A lot of stuff has gone on. KD got traded, which now creates another potential issue for the Lakers in the Western Conference. So we can get to all that, but first tell us about your friends at the East Central Hotel.
No, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm going to do?
What are you
I'll tell you what I'm going to tell you about the East Central, and here's why. You've been schlepping and traveling and working your ass off and grinding, okay? Now your wife calls and says there's no internet. You know what I'm going to suggest to you?
You mean just go to the East
Just
Central?
go across the street. Get one massive night's sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Just get one massive night's sleep and do it at the East Central, and here's why. Obviously, location. Right across the street. All you have to do is walk right across Figueroa. I personally don't go to the traffic lights and do the legal thing. I go zipping right across the street. That's number one. Number two, the biggest hotel rooms in all of downtown L.A. That's not just some opinion. That's a statistical fact. All these big hotel brands have popped up in downtown L.A., and they all made these little tiny boutique-y kind of rooms so they can pack more people in. That's not the case at the East Central. George, also in the morning, hit the new gym. Got all the equipment you need to work out in a hotel gym. Get a great breakfast at the Nixo Lounge. And really, more than anything else, besides the location and the size of the room, it's all the people who work there that I've now gotten to know. Robert Montez and his entire staff, they do such a great job. So if you're thinking about a staycation or you're coming down for a game or a museum or whatever the case may be, and you don't want to drive home, stay at the East Central in downtown L.A. and book your next stay at eastcentralhotel.com. That's eastcentralhotel.com. The East Central Hotel in downtown L.A., entertainment's official address.
We may get some news today.
If it breaks,
it'll be one of the
it'll be the biggest story of 2025.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, if it breaks.
The Bus family is passing the Showtime torch.
And, with Mark Walter as our owner and everything that's backing with what he did to the Dodgers, I'm all for turning the Lakers into an evil empire. I'm down for that.
The home of the Lakers, 710 ESPN, and on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Hey, it's Cap. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming, but Seller's Advantage makes it easy. One customer shared, quote, inheriting a home felt like too much work. Seller's Advantage gave us a reasonable offer, handled everything, and closed in 3 weeks. I highly recommend them. Skip repairs and headaches. Call Seller's Advantage today at 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
4th of July savings start now at Carden Alleyway Hyundai. Lease a brand new Hyundai Elantra SCL Sport for just $219 a month for 36 months with only $34.99 due at signing. Drive with confidence backed by America's best warranty, 10 years or 100,000 miles, and Hyundai's exclusive owner assurance program. Visit us off the 91 freeway or schedule your test drive now at CardenAlleyWayHyundai.com. SU 944151, $34.99 due at signing plus tax, license, $85 doc fee and registration. No security deposit, 10,000 miles per year. Offer expires 7/7/2025.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Today is National Hydration Day. On this day in 1980, Pink Floyd released the song Comfortably Numb. Sedano and Cap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Have become comfortably numb. 1980.
Yeah, you're old, bro.
Wow. Oh, dude. Let me tell you something about being old.
Mm-hmm.
I saw on Pardon the Interruption today
PTI.
that LaDainian Tomlinson turned 46.
Yeah, your boy.
Dude, in 2001, when LaDainian Tomlinson was the 5th overall pick of the then San Diego Chargers,
Yeah.
and I think Drew Brees may have been the 33rd overall pick.
Yeah, it was
maybe
first
it was 34th.
pick in the second round, or second pick in the second round. Yeah.
Those guys were 21 years old.
Right.
And, I got to see their entire career from the front row. And there was a lot of weird stuff that happened along the way, but neither here nor there. When I saw LaDainian Tomlinson turn 46, I was like, oh, man, yeah, I guess so. Because I was like 31, 32. He was just a little kid coming into the NFL. Didn't know what I was about to see and how he was going to change that franchise. And can actually remember a training camp probably in like 2004 or 5 maybe even earlier, where the Chargers moved their training camp from their facility in San Diego to Carson, which became Dignity Sports Health Park. And I remember back then, George, this was probably, like I said, 2005. They were like, people were already panicking that they were moving to L.A., which, of course, they already did. But LaDainian Tomlinson was on a very bad football team and made a long-term commitment, and honestly, it changed their whole organization. Didn't result in the Super Bowl, but it did turn him into a Hall of Famer. So 46, dude. Yes. When I hear Pink Floyd and Comfortably Numb 1980, and when I hear LT 46 years old, yes, I am feeling a little bit aged.
I thought he was older.
Really?
I thought he was like 50.
Well, he's pushing. He's pushing. And George, by the way, I may feel old, but I'll tell you something right now. I'm about to look old.
Why is that?
I got so much sun this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
I'm telling you, bro, I'm putting aloe vera all over my chest.
Why didn't you use a little SPF?
So I have this thing that, like, I rarely ever get sun on my body. So when I go and I'm going to lay by a pool, I'm like, let me have 10 or 15 minutes of just no sunscreen. Let me just get a little vitamin D into the skin. And, dude, I'm baked. Rock lobster. I'm wearing a ball cap today because I don't really want you to see how truly pink I am in my forehead. So,
Cap, I saw a picture of you sitting by the pool.
You know what? Let me tell you something right now. The paparazzi showed up, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. I'm there this weekend. I'm with my lady. I'm celebrating her birthday. I'm trying to have a great time. It's awesome. Nobody's talking to me. Nobody's coming up to me going, what do you think about the Lakers? What do you think's going to happen with the Rams? Nobody's bothering me at all. It's awesome, right? All of a sudden, I realize I get a text from Carlo, and he goes, hey, me and my family are enjoying the day here at Terranea, and the paparazzi is here, and he showed a picture of me laying by the pool, my big fat belly.
Wow.
My boobs are hanging out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. So
It is a pretty funny pic, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. Anyway. Georgie, I see you're drinking coffee. We know that's a rarity. We know that you're not much of a coffee drinker. So I want to go back. We started talking about Haliburton. Just take me back, though. What happens when the game is over? What time approximately are you taking off the headset, handing off equipment to a producer? Like, at what time of night last night did that happen?
I guess all that when they left the stage.
So what do you think, local time in Oklahoma City? Maybe midnight?
No.
11 o'clock?
Midnight, we were already at the restaurant.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would say like in the 11 o'clock-ish area.
Okay, 11 o'clock, you're done. Take off the headset, hand off the microphone.
Minutes, yeah.
You've done all the interviews. And by the way, it's a crazy situation. Like, the game ends, confetti's falling down, people are rushing the floor.
Right.
You got to go find different players, chat with them. Hey, I've got Hartenstein. I'm ready to go. Bring it to me. I've got Hart. Let's go over to George. He's with Isaiah Hartenstein. So, okay, you get off the floor. You go to a restaurant. Where do we go in Oklahoma City last night? Where's the celebration? Mahogany. Oh, Mahogany. Oh.
Never been to Oklahoma City.
Never been.
Literally could be like a food
Never
truck
been.
for all
It could be McDonald's. I wouldn't know the difference about Mahogany. It sounds fancy.
It is
but
fancy.
I don't know. Okay.
Yes.
So you go to dinner last night.
Yeah, big family dinner.
So that means ESPN radio and TV people?
Yeah, everyone. And some NBA people.
Okay. So now what time you get done at Mahogany?
Probably like 12:45.
12:45.
What kind of food? And there's still people there, but I'm like, our side of the table was done, and it was like, all right, bro, I gotta get up, I gotta go to sleep.
Okay. Well, and Funchy asked a good question.
What was that? Funchy? What kind
I'm
of
thinking
food?
Steaks, but what do
So
you got?
I by the time I got there, the appetizers were already there, so there was like crab cakes and like shrimp and that kind of stuff. I was not super hungry because I had a Euro at the game in the green room. So
They have Euros in the green room? Wow, that's impressive.
Yes.
Not the media room. He said the green room. There's got to be a difference.
Yeah. So I just had like a soup and salad for dinner and a glass of wine.
Okay. So now you get back to your hotel room. What time is it?
It's almost 1 o'clock.
Okay. And what time is your flight to L.A.?
7:30.
Okay. What time you got to leave to get to the airport?
I got to wake up like at 6.
Okay. So you're going to get about 4 hours of sleep. But when you have a short period of time to sleep, a lot of times you don't sleep well because you're just worried about waking up and making sure you don't miss your flight. Because you had to get on the flight and land at LAX at what time? You're home away from home.
About 8:45.
Okay, and then 8:45. Did you get a chance to go home and get stuff, or you have to go right to?
So I grabbed some coffee real quick. First cup of coffee. Then ran home. Pulled a cappy in the bathroom.
Nice.
And got some new clothes.
Only one cappy?
Yeah, I mean, I just had to go one time. Yes.
And that's because I've had 5 or 6 already today.
No, just the one time.
Okay.
I've had 2 actually today. If you really wanted to know.
Okay.
One in the TV building. Yes.
Oh, really? You got the TV building?
Well, there's not really that many people there right now, so.
Okay, understood.
I had the whole floor to myself, basically.
Okay.
But the
this is exactly the level of detail I'm looking for.
Yes, and then that's it. And then I did some expenses. I still have way too many expenses to do, but I got some of it out of the way.
Okay, and then you host NBA today.
Right, I did host NBA today. Yes.
Which, by the way, again, I looked at you on TV. I'm like, look at this kid. He looks fresh.
Yeah.
He didn't look beat down at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you come off the TV today.
Right.
And at
grab
some
something
point,
to eat. Yard House.
Yard House.
Some food. Yeah.
And then at some point, an
Grabbed
exhale.
another coffee. Yeah.
Okay, because I got to say, honestly, and I'm not surprised, and
yeah.
I mean, you got to be running on fumes here, bro.
Yes, the answer to that is yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. I mean, good God, man.
Yeah. So so that's it, and then we're here.
I would love to have hosted
And then
NBA today.
John
I'm
asks
here.
out loud, like, I don't know if Sedano was at the game yesterday, and I'm thinking to myself, wait, what? Like, where have I been the last month?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you see, hosting NBA today is an awesome thing to do. I
would agree.
I saw
the day
Malika,
after Game 7, sure.
Right.
She's
saw
getting ready
Malika-
for the draft.
Oh, because I thought she was still in Oklahoma City, but her interview with SGA.
That was last night.
Right. He's still wearing the ski goggles.
Yeah. So
that's
she's
well after
she's
the fact.
in New York, or she was flying to New York today to get ready for the draft because it's on Wednesday.
Yeah. And so here you were today, and I'm like, listen, on one hand, hey, guys, can I catch a break? On the other hand, it's like, this is the day after the NBA Finals. I was at these games. I know this series like the back of my hand. Put me at the desk and let me host. As a matter of fact, you had a great line today on NBA Today, which was you showed the one video of Haliburton hitting one of his crazy shots at the end of a game, and you said something like, I was sitting right there at courtside. You kind of could almost see yourself sitting at the scorer's table. Do you remember which shot that was?
That was the game winner.
Okay, so, yeah, man, I got to give you a lot of credit, bro. I do. That's a grind right there. I like to put myself out there and go, hey, I grind. I work hard. I work all day. Dude, you have been grinding.
Grinding.
That's 2 words.
Yes.
And grinding.
Excellent.
Yeah, so good for you, man.
Let's talk about KD and the Rockets, and all of a sudden now the Lakers having another team they have to deal with.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. But first, let me tell you about our friend Jacob and Ronnie, Cappy. You get into an accident, you call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Here's the deal. A lot of people stay quiet after an accident. They think the pain will go away or the insurance company will just, quote, do the right thing. Jacob and Ronnie has a different message. Do it for you. Because guess what? The insurance company, they've got lawyers. They're trained to save money, not protect you. And that's why you need Jacob in your corner. He's been doing it for decades, fighting for real people and getting real results. He'll help you get the proper treatment, deal with the paperwork, make sure you don't get taken advantage of. You've got one shot to handle this the right way, so don't do it for them. Do it for you. Call Jacob today at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the entire crew here at 710 send you. That's 844-24-JACOB. Or visit him online at calljacob.com, as Jacob is a proud partner of the Rams, the Lakers, and LAFC. Follow Call Jacob as well on Instagram and Facebook, and check out the latest billboard messages designed to lift your day.
Amico Ultra Reaction Monday.
The first title of the OKC era is complete. one of the youngest rosters in recent memory, has just completed one of the finest seasons in NBA history.
On 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app, plus on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles, we are reacting to the Oklahoma City Thunder's win in 7 games over the Indiana Pacers. Thanks to Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? Just 9 miles from downtown LA and near the 710 freeway. It's completely reimagined with new ownership, renovations, and upgraded amenities. We're also home to California's largest card room jackpot ever, $3.7 million. New players score $30 in match play when they say, Cappy sent me. Park West Bicycle Casino. Come see what everyone's talking about.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGR 001291. GAR 001292. PSIS license number 1358.
Listen all week to Sedano and Cap for a chance to win a pair of VIP tickets to the biggest pro wrestling convention this Saturday, June 28th, Hilton LAX. Listen for a cue to call and be caller 7 at 877-710-ESPN for 2 tickets with VIP access to LAX Fan Fest plus 1 autograph by Ahmed Johnson. Listen to Sedano and Cap for a chance to win or visit fanfestlax.com for tickets.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood carpet and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York. Evan Cohen here. According to a recent ZipRecruiter survey, 76% of employers plan to expand headcount for 2025. If you're one of these employers, add ZipRecruiter's latest feature, Zip Intro, to your hiring plan. It does most of the work for you, so you save time. Just pick a time, and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. You can even meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports.
Today is National Detroit-Style Pizza Day. All right? And on this day, back in 1986, Peter Cetera of Chicago fame released the album, Chicago the band, released the album Solitude Solitaire. This song, of course, on it, The Glory of Love.
Oh, Karate Kid.
Sedano and Cap continues. Your Monday afternoon right now.
It's from the Karate Kid Part 2, Cappy.
Part Deuce, huh?
Yeah, when they went to Okinawa.
Oh, that's right. The dude who was...
Remember, Pat Morita said to him at the end when they had the big fight with Chosen, he said, Daniel-san, this not tournament. This for real.
This for real. That's when everybody had those little drums that had the two little balls. And then Daniel-san was like, oh, right. And then he started turning to his left, turning to his right, and then all of a sudden gave him one of those big old kicks, you know?
Yeah. No, he was hitting him with his hands.
Oh.
Like the drum.
Well, I just feel like I just saw Karate Kid 2. I don't know why. I was at the gym, and Karate Kid 2 was on. I got caught up in the Karate Kid 2. What was the dude's name? Who I don't know if anybody's ever seen him or heard from him since. The guy who was the kid from Japan, who was the, he was the Johnny of 2.
Chosen. His name was Chosen.
Chosen. That's what I just called him.
No, I know, but what was his real name? I don't know.
Oh,
that
the
guy
actor?
was ripped.
I don't know.
That guy was lean and ripped. And then, remember, the whole story was that Pat Morita, his nemesis was the guy who was kind of, in charge of the whole town.
His
Sato.
real name was Yuji Okumoto.
Oh, yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to
right.
fight.
Sato was wanted to fight him because he felt he disgraced him.
Coward. Coward. Yeah. Right.
Miyagi,
right.
you coward. And then he saved him when the hurricane hit or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I saw about 30 minutes of it. I didn't get to the end, but, Daniel-san was being picked on again.
So you're saying you saw it recently and didn't get to the end.
Yeah, I was in the gym.
Right, because I was going to say, I'm sure you've seen the movie from back in
but-
1989.
But it's been a long time, and then I was in the gym, and it was on like one of these TV channels. You know, it's like right now I'm looking at Sports Center right now. But if I look at
Bobby
my guide,
Marks is around right now.
Yeah. On TNT today, the movie Taken is on.
Oh, yeah.
That is a crazy movie.
A certain set of skills.
Right.
Yeah.
I will find you, and I will kill you because you had that certain set of skills.
You know he's a new Frank Drebin for Naked Gun?
I heard, yes.
Yeah.
Who is?
What's his name? Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
No way. He's the new Frank Drebin?
Yeah.
Yes.
For Naked Gun. Yeah, Naked Gun's coming out in August.
No way.
Yeah.
Who's the new OJ?
I don't
I don't know. I guess we'll find out all together.
All right.
We'll find out in a few years.
Well, you mentioned KD. That was kind of another big story
I
from
mean,
the weekend.
this was the exact place he needed to go. I mean, he is the exact perfect fit there. Now, I guess as long as they can keep him healthy towards the end of the season, he's only averaging about 60 games played over the last several. But they really struggled down the stretch to close out games. If they just had, if you would have plugged in KD last year, they probably beat the Warriors, and who knows what happens after that. So I really, really like what they've done, and they gave up nothing in essence. Like they gave up the 10th pick, Jalen Green, who they've been shopping anyway, and what else did they give up?
Dylan Brooks.
Oh, Dylan Brooks, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you can
Well,
find another Dylan Brooks.
He's replaceable.
Totally
well, not only is he
replaceable.
replaceable, but I mean, you just talk about potential personality conflicts or potential issues. I don't know. I just see Dylan Brooks and Kevin Durant, and if that thing ever gets explosive, somebody got to go, and it ain't going to be Kevin Durant.
Right. So I just think it creates another hurdle for the Lakers going into next season. So you already have OKC, who's, as we talked about during Crosstalk with John, perfectly positioned for this new era of basketball and the CBA. You've got the Houston Rockets, right? I think the Spurs will be better. I don't think that they're a championship level team, but let's just start with the championship level type teams. So I still think Denver's in that conversation as long as Jokic is still there. And they're going to make moves, I would imagine, here. Minnesota was in the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you've got a number of teams there. And Dallas is going to be good once Kyrie gets back, What
about Golden State?
Golden State is in the mix, too, for sure. So I would – Clippers, we'll see what the offseason looks like for them. But, I think they're probably just like a half step behind those teams that we just discussed. But, I look at – if I'm looking at the top of it, I'm looking at OKC, I'm looking at Houston, I'm looking at Denver, and then at that point, then the Lakers are in that next tier. So those would be like my top three. And then in the West, and then everything beyond that is like in different tiers. So I would have the Lakers in like the Golden State tier, and a healthy
is that the
with
old
a healthy
tier?
Dallas.
Is that old? Is that old tier?
Yeah, with a healthy Dallas. But again, I need to see what Cooper Flagg looks like on the NBA level before I put. I really feel like I have a good grip on what Dallas can be.
So, look, Houston had a really good regular season, right? Yeah. I mean, they were second in the Western Conference.
Oh, and
I
forgot Minnesota. Minnesota's in that top tier, too. Yeah.
So, one more time. Give me the top tier. Oklahoma
Top
City.
tier is OKC, Houston, Minnesota, and Denver.
Yeah.
And then Lakers in the second tier of the Western Conference currently because they don't have a big man and they don't have enough players.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, man, one thing about these NBA Finals that I have to say I learned.
Yeah. Depth matters.
Well, depth is one thing. This is going to kill me to say this, but I'm going to have to say it anyway. Mm-hmm. I found Anthony Davis to be kind of a complainer, especially before he was traded, because there was all this talk about, what we really need is we need another big man so that I can play over here and another big guy can play over there.
Right.
And if you remember, that's how we won the bubble championship. That was my paraphrasing of what Anthony Davis was saying.
Yeah.
You know what's really unfortunate, George?
What?
He was right.
Of course he's right.
Because when I watched Oklahoma City, and
right,
I see
Hardenstein and Chet.
When I see those two guys, and people say, well, the Lakers got to find a big man.
Yeah.
I think to myself, no, the Lakers need to find two big men because one's not enough.
Correct.
And it doesn't mean that both have to play on the floor the way those two guys do in Oklahoma City at the same time or start at the same time.
Yeah.
But you've got to be prepared for if by chance your big man can't go, you got to have a realistic big man to play right behind him.
Correct.
Doesn't that make the Rockets be more of a threat because they re-signed Steven Adams,
right? And they already have Alper and Sengun.
And they were doing the double big man lineup in that Golden State series. And I think like we all said, like Kevin Durant, he was that missing piece as far as a guy that can close out games and someone that can go out there and score late in the stretch that they needed. So the Rockets are going to be tough because they still kept their core guys around. And Kevin Durant just plugging him in as an all-star and just being able to create his own shot.
And don't forget, Jabari Smith is nearly 7 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? And Tari Eason is like 6'8" or 6'9". Like, they've got size. So that's the thing. You need size. You need depth. You need shooting. You need two-way players, right? Like, you can't just have these specialists or these one-way players. You can get away with one. You know what I mean? Like, if your one is a prodigy like Luka Doncic, sure. It's why I wonder, like, how they're going to do this with Austin Reeves if they're going to play those guys together down the stretch. Like, I just don't know what you do.
You know, you're talking about all this young talent that they've got on Houston, and they did have a great regular season. They finished second in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm hearing what you're saying is Kevin Durant is a missing piece, right?
Oh, my God. He's exactly what they need.
I am not a Kevin Durant believer.
I know you're not.
I'm not. I think of Kevin Durant as being a lot like James Harden in this way.
I mean, James Harden had a hell of a season, man. He was third-team All-NBA this year.
Don't get me wrong.
And the Clippers won 50 games off James Harden's back at 36 or 7 years old or whatever he is, trying to, because Ty was like, I'm going to play him like Houston James, even though he's not the same player anymore.
All fair. Everything you just said, totally fair.
Yeah.
However, I just don't see these guys as championship players. Kevin Durant.
Houston.
Well, I'm saying Kevin Durant. Now,
he's a two-time Finals MVP and had gone to the finals even before that.
I know I know, but I'm just here to tell you that in this latter stage of his career,
right? He's certainly not this. Yes, if you're telling me the guy at 30 who's going to be 37 years old is not the player he was 7 years ago, I would agree with you.
Not only that, but also listen, he joined, and I don't need to sit here and do a history lesson.
Right?
We know the team he joined.
Yeah.
We know what they were. We know the players they had, the coach they had, and we know what Kevin Durant meant to that team.
Right.
But he showed up when they were a championship caliber team, and he helped them be even better than they were.
Correct.
Subsequently, since that time, he's not sniffed a championship. Okay.
He's also had a catastrophic injury.
I understand that as well.
And he was also literally a toe over the line of maybe having Giannis still be ringless. You know what I mean? Like,
he also was a guy that said, "Here's the coach I wanted to play for."
Oh no!
Here's the
he
players I want to play with.
He has made his bed in some ways too. But and look, he is still an offensive force. Here's what you need from Kevin Durant. Okay, Kevin Durant can't be your leader guy. Okay, I don't think he wants to be that by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe that he cares about that stuff. Not other than leading by example, right? Like, I think that's kind of his thing. He wants to go out there and ball, okay, and hoop, right? And that's it.
Ball and hoop.
Right. But the Rockets don't need him to be leader guy. They've got a very strong head coach, okay, in Ime Udoka, who ain't about, like, he's not beneath, like, scuffling with actual players and jawing with them. I mean, him and LeBron had some words, if you recall correctly, last season. And they've got a guy in Fred VanVleet who's a 16-game player because he's won a championship, and he knows what it takes, and he's your kind of guy, Cappy. He's a heart and soul kind of guy. So he was the veteran leader on that Rockets team recently, and I think he will still fill that void on that team.
Well, it's good that they don't need Kevin Durant to be a leader because, again, I just look at him and I go, that guy right there, great offensive player. Great stat machine.
He's a good defensive player, too, still, even at this stage of his career.
But not a leader.
But you don't need him to be.
Well, if you don't need him to be.
I mean, the Warriors didn't need him to be.
No, they didn't. And his play did all the talking.
Correct.
But since then, listen, again, I just look at Kevin Durant the same way I look at certain other guys. In the case of James Harden, hey, the guy can score. The guy can put up numbers. The guy can keep padding his stats. But the guy is not a champion.
Here's a bold prediction, a way too early bold prediction. You ready?
Yep, give it to me.
I'll tell you on the other side. How about that?
Ooh, nice tease.
Look at that. How about
nice
that?
Tease.
Now, why don't you tell us about your friends at Subaru?
Hey, today I was just looking at my brand new Subaru Outback. I love this vehicle. One thing I love about it so much is the surprising fuel efficiency. When I drive from South LA to downtown LA, then I drive out into the valley, then I drive back to downtown LA, then I drive back to South. When I get back, I'm like, wow, how could I still have this much gas? Fuel efficiency is a really big thing for me, and the Subaru Outback is incredible. And by the way, I'm only mentioning it because if you're planning on seeing America on the road this summer, you're planning on a big family road trip, what a great vehicle to put you, your kids, your dogs, your equipment, and everything in this brand new Outback. So let me tell you about a couple of deals that are going on right now. The 2025 Subaru Crosstrek, 2.9% financing for 48 months. That's right, only 2.9% financing for 48 months on the brand new Subaru Crosstrek. Or the Outback that I'm talking about, 3.9% financing for 72 months. It's only 3.9% for 72 months. And you can get all the details at oceansubaruoc.com. That's oceansubaruoc.com. We are on Euclid Street in Fullerton. Come take a look at our entire inventory. Just a huge selection of all the brand new Subarus. And so wherever your journey takes you, it all starts here at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton.
It was a seismic shift in Lakerland felt all around the sports world.
Now, all of a sudden, we're one of the richest owners in all the NBA.
Mark Walter is now leading a brand new Lakers ownership group.
The guy that owned the Dodgers bought the Lakers and caught just about everybody by surprise is exceptionally exciting.
When the news broke, LA turned to 710 for the passion and pride of the purple and gold.
New era, same home.
The home of the Lakers is 710 ESPN.
It's a Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday at Oklahoma City.
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, where vapes are anti-aging. Because you're more likely to die younger from a stroke.
Table gamers get $2,500 in promo chips 6 to 9 p.m. and one winner gets 10 grand cash at 10 p.m. the 29th.
Morongo, good times. Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
The biggest event of the summer is coming to Honda Center. Saturday, June 28th. Most Valuable Promotions presents global boxing star Jake Paul on his path to becoming world champion. Taking on Mexico's former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. In the co-main event, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez defends his world titles against Cuba's knockout artist, Yuniel Dorticos. Former boxing and UFC champ Holly Holm returns live from the Honda Center on Saturday, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Funchy.
Funchy lover.
Thank you, guys.
I'm here.
Cappy, you got some competition, man.
With what?
The horses, man.
The horse?
Yeah, the horse.
The horse.
Lil Wayne.
The horse.
Lil Wayne has a horse now.
What kind of horse Lil Wayne got?
I don't know what kind of horse, but the horse won a race yesterday at Los Alamitos.
Oh, look at that, Cappy.
The horse is named 6 Hoof 7 Hoof, which was named after this song, 6 Foot 7 Foot.
6 Hoof 7 Hoof?
Yes.
Now, do you think I should pronounce hoof like roof?
Yeah.
Or should I pronounce hoof like huff? Like rough?
I don't know. What's the technical term? Is it hoof?
I think it was
Isn't it like a shoe? Isn't it like
I think
a shoe?
it's a hoof.
I think it's a hoof.
Okay. Well, you're the horse man. I don't know anything, man.
6 hoof, 7 hoof.
Fuck or something.
So, I guess he has a celebrity trainer too, or whatever. Doug O'Neill, who
That's
won.
my trainer.
Yes, he trains the horse.
All right, look at that.
Look at that.
I mean, Funch, look right here. Look at here.
What?
One of my little bobbleheads sits right next to me on my desk.
Mm-hmm.
This is Doug O'Neill right here.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and he just won last week at Santa Anita, maybe a week and a half ago.
Man.
I think he won his 3,000th career race.
This guy is doing it, man. He got you. He got Lil Wayne.
Well, Doug
Easy.
is he's I think a 2-time Kentucky Derby winner.
Yes.
And 3,000 career wins, and a guy who has won the meet at Santa Anita and Del Mar. I mean, he is like the other than Bob Baffert, he's probably one of the top 2-3 names in horse racing, especially here in Southern California.
Big on the horse?
I can't believe Lil Wayne has this horse.
The horse.
I got to look him up. I got to look up this 6 hoof, 7 hoof. Lil Wayne wins at Los Al.
Cappy.
Yo.
So I told you I have a way too early bold prediction for next season.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Thunder Rockets Western Conference Finals.
Okay, wow. That is a way too early. That is an on paper day after the NBA Finals kind of.
That's like, that's what you get, right? Like when you go on ESPN.com, they'll after the season's over, any given season, they'll be like way too early top 25 for college football or whatever. Yeah, or way too early Super Bowl prediction or whatever. That's the way too early Western Conference Finals prediction.
It's funny you say that because I was watching you today on NBA Today, and I think that one of the conversations was something like, are the Oklahoma City Thunder now set up for, a dynasty type run?
Right. Like how many championships could they potentially win over a requisite amount of time?
Yeah.
Perk said 2 in the next 4. Danny Green said 3 in the next 5. And then Windhorse said that if they didn't win at least 2 in the next 5 or whatever by the end of the decade, that it would be – if they didn't win at least one more by the end of the decade, it would be a disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've got a lot of young players. They've got a lot of depth on that team.
Yeah.
They're set up for the future due to all the trades and the draft picks. Right. So all that seems reasonable. I always find it funny that it's the day after. Like the day after the Super Bowl, the immediate question is, who's the favorite to win the Super Bowl next year? Is Philadelphia immediately the favorite?
Exactly.
There's not even 24 hours to breathe and digest and take in what happened last night. Because that was not just a basketball game last night.
Yeah.
There was a major story that happened along the way.
Yeah.
The Halliburton story was more than just a basketball game.
And God, I mean, you saw my reaction in the group text. I was trying not to spoil it for you guys, but I was so pissed. Like, I had the same reaction LeBron did on Twitter, which is just a curse in our group text. Like, I was so mad, for him. I was so mad for them. I was so mad for just the sport. Right?
How about for those of us that bet on Indiana? Were you mad for us?
Maybe I wasn't really thinking of you guys, but yeah. But it was such an awful. He's such a good kid too.
Yeah,
man.
Right. Well, that's just it. And when I was watching the TV version, I don't know exactly what you're doing during the game. That maybe you have a monitor in front of you and you're watching.
Lisa and I are sitting next to each other.
Okay, so when you see Haliburton on the ground, and you see his
unlike
dad,
your NFL counterparts, Cappy, Lisa and I work very, very much in tandem. A lot of times, we'll help each other out. I'll ask her, "Hey, I missed this. What did you get on this?" And then if I hear something or see something, I give her a heads up.
George, Lisa, this is why she's number 1 in my sideline reporter rankings. Yeah. Because for years, she and I worked those sidelines together. Yeah. She was the TV person, I was the radio person, and we collaborated the entire time.
She's a big collaborator.
Right. Whereas, and Aaron Andrews and I don't get along.
Oh, here we go.
Okay? Because Aaron Andrews don't want to do that. She don't want to do that. She don't want to Lisa Salters.
I don't need any Aaron Andrews smoke, okay?
Okay? I don't want any Aaron Andrews smoke. I want no smoke from Aaron Andrews.
I don't even know her, so I don't want any smoke, okay?
Well, I know her, and you don't want that smoke. Trust me when I tell you. Because when I said something about her, boy, I'll tell you what, turned into about an hour phone conversation of her just tearing me up.
Well, you deserved it.
Well, and I wanted to take the call. I thought it was kind of cool that she called me to beat up on me. Nonetheless,
that's not nice at all.
It was not nice at all. And when you watch the television broadcast last night, you see Haliburton's dad sitting there,
John,
kind of falling apart. Like, that's my boy out there.
Yeah.
Not only is he this close to winning an NBA championship, and I don't know, there's no guarantee he's ever going back. And in Game 7, in the first quarter, when he's on fire like he is,
Yeah.
and that calf gives out and the Achilles pops and he's down on the ground writhing in pain.
Right.
I'm telling you, man, it's you didn't have to be a hardcore Indiana fan. I was rooting for Indiana. I bet on Indiana. I loved Haliburton in this postseason.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a human story.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah, I would agree. And it just really, really tough. But, that's the way it works, man. Sports aren't fair is what I would say. Much like life, it's not fair. And a lot of the times it's a battle of attrition. And that's just the reality of it. So,
but it's interesting that everybody's talking about now Oklahoma City. How many titles will they win? I'm not sold and convinced like everybody else.
I mean, you don't think they're going to get better? I mean, they have one guy who's the MVP who's in just in his prime now.
Mm-hmm.
Their next two best players haven't even hit their prime yet, not even scratching it yet.
I understand. What I'm saying is that, I can remember when Denver won the title a couple years back.
Right, but here's the thing. We didn't expect Denver to, at least I did not expect Denver to shed players in salary that way. Like that I believe that had they kept guys and look, KCP now did not have a very good season, but had they done a better job of drafting guys to replace them at the very least, which I don't think they did a very good job of, hence why the general manager was also let go. I expected them to do a good job of surrounding Jokic with better players, which they have not done over the last two seasons.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is look, Denver took Oklahoma City
Jokic,
to 7.
Right, but that's because Jokic is literally a monster out there.
Right. Well, that's what I'm getting at. So Denver took Oklahoma City to 7.
Right.
And that was the best series of them all.
Right, but here's what I would say to you. The Last Dance is on ESPN right now.
Yep, watching it.
The New York Knicks had one superstar, okay? And took the Bulls a ton of times to 7 games. You know what I'm saying? That, but Patrick Ewing was that dude back then.
He was. But also, a guy like John Stark.
If the New York Knicks were like the Washington Wizards, that team would not have been given as much credit, is what I would say. But because it was New York, it gets told like this fable. And they deserve it because Patrick was that good, but they didn't actually do a great job of putting the best talent around him. Like they had good complementary pieces around Patrick Ewing in those days.
Well, listen, again, for me, today, as we sit here after watching Oklahoma City win.
They just won a championship, and you're already doubting them moving forward.
Well, but isn't everybody else doing the opposite of what I'm doing?
Oh, I don't think so.
Everybody's already hyping them. All I'm saying is
because they are. I mean, look. Not because of anything. They are the best positioned team. They have 13 first-round picks in the next 7 drafts.
Which is insane.
They have guys literally that aren't playing, that are stashed on their G League team or in Europe or just on the bench.
I saw a guy yesterday on their bench that was in street clothes that before the game he was kind of shaking hands with everybody. I'm like, who's the giant white dude who's got to be like 7'2"?
Yeah.
Like I don't even know who that guy is.
They have so many guys you've never even heard of that I barely know.
Right.
Okay.
Well, all I'm saying is this. Denver took them to 7, and that was an incredibly competitive series.
Right.
Indiana took them to 7, and if they don't lose their best player, who knows what would have happened in that game.
But they're also an incredibly young team. They're the second youngest team in the history of the sport to win the championship.
And you're looking at that as that's an incredible thing because they're going to grow together and they're going to mature together.
By the way, the Warriors did that.
Yep, I'm looking at it slightly differently.
They were not as young as these guys, and they did it. Steph and Clay and Draymond were very young when they won the championship.
And because they're young, they may grow together, and they may be great together, and they may all work their asses off together, and they may say, hey, one's not enough. Or the flip side is they could be young, they could be immature, and they could be like, hey, I own the world now. I won a championship. I've got this ring. I've got this money. I've got this fame.
I mean, the disease of me is a real thing. Pat Riley coined that phrase. And it's basically what you're alluding to. I don't see it with this group.
It's crazy that you said that, though, Cap, because at the end of the game, J-Dub sat down with Van Pelt, and he was discussing how, him and Chet will, after the game, win or lose, they would still break down film and try to get better amongst each other. So I feel like their mindset and determination is a little bit different.
Maybe so.
They're an incredibly mature group, to DeAndre's point, for their age. I have never been around, and I've been around the game of basketball now for over 20 years. I have never been around a group of guys like that, a young team like that takes their craft so seriously. I haven't seen it.
Okay. All I'm saying is this. I'm not knocking the guys. They won the championship last night.
I mean, it sounds like you're knocking them.
No. This talk of dynasty is a little premature for me.
Okay, that's fine. But what I'm telling you is I think anybody who's reasonable is just telling you they are equipped to make a run.
Reasonable? Who are you talking to?
I mean, you're not reasonable. But
well, that's the point I'm trying to make. Exactly. So don't put me in that category, please.
But
it's an insult.
But you're talking about the people that are talking about it. And what I'm saying is, like, reasonable people will tell you they're just better positioned than everyone.
They may be.
I mean, they got all 15 guys are signed. And not to mention those other guys that are, like, literally just hanging out in the G League or Europe or wherever that they've got still, too, the rights to.
All I'm saying is it's the day after the championship. It's the day after, and we're talking dynasty. Yeah. And I'm saying to myself, I saw Denver work them hard. I saw Indianapolis work them hard. You know what? I'm not buying that they're just going to start dominating.
But that's what happens when you're young. Like, they still, despite that, overcame those things.
They overcame that Tyrese Haliburton got hurt last night.
Right, but so you're saying if Tyrese Haliburton... Now, see, this is what you're doing. You're saying that if Tyrese Haliburton was healthy, that Indiana wins the game.
I don't know because I don't...
I mean the law of averages says he wasn't going to shoot 75% for the game.
I got it. Yeah. And the law of averages also says that a team that takes the series home in Game 7 more often than not wins.
Correct.
I mean, it's pretty overwhelming. But we'll never know. And, gosh, that's the shame of what happened last night.
I will agree with that. It was absolutely a shame.
Yeah, it's too bad. So you know what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to celebrate tonight the end of the basketball season.
Yeah.
Like it's like the season is over. The freaking draft is this week for crying out loud.
It's in 2 days, yeah.
It's unbelievable how this
Cooper
thing just
Flag
keeps going
in
on and
Dallas.
on.
Nico got saved.
But I will celebrate with an icy cold Coors Light.
You will?
I will. And by the way, George.
And by the way, you know what I want to talk about on the other side?
Tell me.
Football.
Oh, football. Yeah. You weren't here on Thursday, and Adrian Gonzalez came on because he was talking. He was talking about the Dodgers and the Padres, and we were having the conversation on Thursday. Is tonight the night it blows up and everybody starts throwing down? And that was the night that Dave Roberts came running out of the dugout and went belly to belly on Mike Schilt. So I was talking to Adrian on Thursday of last week about celebrating with an icy cold Coors Light. What a spectacular weekend we've just come off. The June gloom was nowhere to be found, thank goodness, and it was a great weekend to celebrate. That Coors Light plane goes flying up and down the coastline along the beach. You can't miss it. So listen, whether it's hitting the beach, maybe it's taking a hike on your favorite trail, maybe it's going for a weekend with your lady, maybe it's hanging out with your kids, man. But when you celebrate responsibly with an icy cold Coors Light. You can pick up Coors Light near you. You can have it delivered to the crib. All you have to do is visit this website, choosechill.com. That's choosechill.com. Guys, summertime is here, and it is the official beer of summer. That's Coors Light. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly and cheers with Coors Light.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? Just 9 miles from downtown LA and near the 710 freeway, it's completely reimagined with new ownership, renovations, and upgraded amenities. We're also home to California's largest card room jackpot ever, $3.7 million. New players score $30 in match play when they say, Cappy sent me. Park West Bicycle Casino. Come see what everyone's talking about.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GGR 001291. GAR 001292. PSIS license number 1358.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret, AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
On this day back in 2000, Me, Myself, and Irene with Jim Carrey was released in theaters. A weird movie, but a funny movie. And on this day back in 2003, Beyonce released the album Dangerously in Love. Sedano and Cap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Oh, what a jam this song is.
This makes me think about something me and Funchy Lava were talking about before the show.
Mm-hmm.
There's talk about Jay-Z hiring himself to do the halftime show of the Super Bowl, not this year, but next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go look it up. Super Bowl 50 was in Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, and the halftime was Coldplay, but Beyonce was a part of that halftime.
Mm.
So it's as if Jay-Z's thinking to himself, you know what? 10 years later, let me go do halftime. Because doesn't he, run the NFL's halftime now or have a big say in it? Isn't that the way the story went a couple years ago? That Jay-Z was deeply involved in all the halftime performances?
Yeah.
So it seems like Jay-Z's about to hire himself.
Rock Nation, which Jay-Z owns.
They have have the contract with the NFL.
Yeah, that's what they have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couple of things. I'm going to some tweets in the community, Cap.
Okay, let me hear what's going on out there.
All right. First, the vice president of the Handsome Man community says, I don't know if I'm buying the Rockets as a top tier just yet. They gave up a lot of players, went out in the first round of the playoffs, and KD hasn't done anything since the first year in Brooklyn. They did not give up a lot of players. Jalen Green is literally a player they've been trying to shop for a year and change since they gave him that contract. They gave away a pick that they don't care to use because they have plenty of picks, and Dylan Brooks is incredibly replaceable.
Yeah, and all the second-round picks that they gave up.
Who cares?
Who cares?
You gave up 5 for Rui here in L.A.
Right, what? Does anybody? I mean, it all looked like on one hand, these guys got KD, these guys got all this, and the all this just wasn't all that impressive. But hey, handsome man, VP, I'm kind of with you. I'm not a believer in Kevin Durant anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
and I don't know.
It's not about necessarily Kevin Durant. It's about Kevin Durant being a missing piece now, as opposed to Kevin Durant carrying a team.
Yeah, I just have this. I have this feeling about Kevin Durant that he's got that Brody kind of thing in him, where when he shows up, I don't know, just things don't go right.
Nah, I don't get that sense from him. I don't think guys dislike Kevin Durant, and that he gets into a lot of beef with guys. Like that Suns team had a lot of beef. I don't think Kevin was really I mean, he didn't like the coach, but like as far as like the players and him, like to my knowledge, there wasn't any issues.
Okay, no beef there, huh?
No,
I mean that Suns team was a disaster.
I mean,
and the way
first
the
of all,
roster
they had
was constructed too.
They had a G League team around them the first year.
Yeah,
it was
it's not
ridiculous, and this notion that Bradley Beal and Devin Booker were going to fit well together, and now you're throwing Jalen Green into that mix. Like I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. But anyway,
right, keep going.
D Nat,
huh?
Yeah.
I don't know D Nat.
Oh no, DNA KT. Sorry,
DNA KT.
He says, in regards to the Lakers, we still have our superior megastars in Luka and James. Who else has that? Nobody. A very good coach and now a phenomenal owner. 2 good bigs, and we're ready to roll. If not for a horrible Luka ejection, we would have swept those Thunder in OKC. Luka coming for blood. First of all, I mean, you're really talking about regular season games in March? Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, but could you just go back really one more time? Just go through, just slowly. Go through all the things that he says the Lakers have. Let me pick that apart. Keep going. Go ahead.
Superior megastars in Luka and James. Who else has that?
Yeah, you've got a megastar in Luka, and you've got a 41-year-old LeBron still playing well, but those are your 2 megastars. Okay, keep going.
A very good coach. I'll give him that.
A very good coach. I would say
he was a very good coach in the regular season, and then in the postseason he had some challenges, which is what you should have expected to some extent.
I would say you have a coach who is learning on the job, who in year 1 led the Lakers to a much better record than many people expected.
Yeah.
And handled his team. Is he a very good coach? After 1 year, he's a good coach because he was good in the regular season. And he made a bunch of mistakes in the postseason, including the one game where he didn't put anybody in off the bench. And then, again, we can argue all day long about the last game where he decided not to play a guy who's been a starter the entire time.
Yeah, I would say that very good is still I would say good. I would agree with that. Very will determine what happens in the playoffs, I would say.
Year 1, C+.
No, I think year 1 like a B+, a B or B+, because in the regular season, I thought they they definitely overachieved from where I thought they were going to be.
I'm a tough grader, George.
Okay,
tough grader.
Clearly. Okay, fair enough. But I'm with you on the playoffs, and I think he would tell you that too. I like that he went to Rams camp to visit with McVay and Snead. I thought that was really smart by him.
I would try and learn everything I could. I don't care what it is. You could be a different sport. It could be a different business completely.
Yeah, you could learn. Dude,
I would try and learn everything from
Eric
Sean McVay.
Spoelstra, I'll never forget it. They lost to Dallas. He went and visited with Chip Kelly to learn how to the spread offense and how to apply it to basketball. Like he you go visit a lot of different people.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. I'd try and learn everything I can from Sean McVay.
2 good bigs and we're ready to roll. I mean, easier said than done is what I would say.
2 good bigs? Where do I find them?
No, he's saying as in if they get
right.
those 2.
Yeah, my question is where do I find them?
Yeah.
Not because that's what I was saying earlier. Having one big, like one legitimate starting real NBA big man, somebody that people really respect, somebody that doesn't allow Rudy Gobert to look like Wilt Chamberlain in a playoff game.
Right.
Okay? How do you find one, let alone 2?
Right.
And, oh, by the way, that's what they need.
Right.
Okay,
Correct.
keep going.
And then he said, if it wasn't for a horrible Luka ejection, remember John went nuts during that one? Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
That is awful.
Awful.
Why?
We would have swept the Thunder in OKC. Luka coming for blood. Again, a game in March is not some sort of determination on whether you'd win a 7-game series. That's a little different, too.
Here's something else.
Yeah.
Luka can come for blood all day long, but here's the bad news. Luka better bring like 8 other guys with him.
Right.
Because bringing 4 other guys ain't enough in today's NBA.
Correct. And then Debbie actually had a really funny tweet in the Sedano and Cap Circle of Trust. I don't know if you've seen this yet.
I have not.
She says, Cappy, did you get yours yesterday? And it's like this picture that says Padres pacifier for the first 40,000 fans on June 22nd, and a little button that says get your tickets. You know?
Is that
crybaby gutty little Padres? Yes.
Is that Debbie, my Debbie?
Yeah, you're Debbie. It's very funny.
You know, I tried to last week, George. I don't know if you saw the video play out on social media.
Yeah.
But when I was at the Dodger game, I had a young man with me named Garrett who won the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles auction.
Yeah.
And we went to the concession stand,
Yeah.
and he pulled out his credit card, and he goes, I'm not using this. You're buying, Cappy. That's what he told me. He goes, you're buying.
Yeah.
So there I was, and then I talked to you about it on the air. The 2 dogs, me and DeAndre both had a
that's right.
dog.
You did mention that, yes.
But
I didn't hear that part. The
nachos,
thing. Yeah.
the 4 waters, like $65 plus the tip. It was like an $80 concession stand visit, and I was performing for Debbie, going, "Girl, check me out, girl."
Yeah, I'm buying.
I'm buying.
Right, I do recall this now. So anyway, all right, coming up next, we got Radio Tinder, Cappy, and we'll get back to, let's get some Dodgers, speaking of which, on the other side of Radio Tinder. But first, let me tell you about Children's Dental Fun Zone. Listen, parents, I know taking your kids to the dentist, it's tough, man. They don't want to go. But you take them to Children's Dental Fun Zone, they're going to rethink the process. Trust me when I tell you, because you're going to walk into any of those 17 locations, and they're going to be like, Mom, Dad, where did you bring me? This feels like a children's cartoon. You've heard us talk about Children's Dental Fun Zone, and choosing a dental clinic is not easy for kids. 23 years plus experience specializing in children's dentistry and orthodontics, state-of-the-art equipment, personal attention your kids deserve, preventative care, routine care, dental treatments, braces, aligners, orthodontic planning. They got it all, okay? Free consultations. Amazing atmosphere, as I mentioned. Plus, with online booking and referral programs, you got special bonuses. 17 locations, as I mentioned, across the Southland. 3 more opening in San Bernardino and the IE. So they got you covered in L.A. County in those 17 locations. They got you covered in Orange County in those 17 locations. And they got you covered in the IE. And I just mentioned 3 more coming, all right? So it'll be 20 locations soon. Children's Dental Fun Zone. This is how they help you get with the kids, right, and get them on the right frame of mind, right? Movies for the kids at every station while they're getting the work done, iPads and toys for the kids in the waiting area. For parents, they accept Medi-Cal, PPO, and HMO insurance plans. To handle your insurance paperwork for you, you're good to go there. So to book your child's next appointment, visit their website at Children's Dental Fun Zone. That's cdfzone.com, cdfzone.com, or call them at 833-586-7898. That's 833-586-7898. And let them know Sedano and the whole crew here at ESPN LA sent you. Children's Dental Fun Zone. Sparkling smiles. Happy kids.
All over the Bus family selling the Lakers.
How does Jeannie remain being the governor while not being majority owner?
She is in charge for the foreseeable future. I don't know how many years it is. I think it's more than 1, more than 2 probably, maybe even 3. I don't know how long that's written into the contract, but it's written in the contract.
The Bus family is passing the Showtime torch.
The home of the Lakers, 710 ESPN, the all-new ESPN LA app, and on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles.
It's a Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the 2025 NBA champs. We're talking about all day long on 710 ESPN. Thanks to Michelob Ultra, refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Please enjoy responsibly.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
All right. We got a caller who says, I need to buy a car and I need to save money. Well, my friend, I've got one answer for you. The Cerritos Auto Square. It's America's largest auto mall. 24 dealerships, all the top brands, all in one easy location right here in SoCal. And here's the secret. These dealers sell more cars than anyone because they have low prices. And they can actually afford low prices because they sell so many cars. Check it out at CerritosAutosquare.com.
Cerritos Auto Square.
USC football is more than a game. It's tradition, pride, and unforgettable Saturdays in the Coliseum. Be there for every kickoff, every touchdown, and every unforgettable moment this season. Secure your football season tickets today and lock in the best seats, exclusive fan benefits, and memories that last a lifetime. Don't miss out. We need you in the stands. Visit USCTrojans.com or call 213-740-GO-SC.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
With Progressive customer service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last 2, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Radio Tinder time. We like to play a TV theme or a wrestling theme. How about Prince's Batman?
Oh, I got a live one here.
Because Funchy don't mind a little Batman and the Bat Dance. Because on this day in 1989, Batman was released in theaters. This, of course, was on the soundtrack. You can follow Funchy Lover somewhere on the socials. Don't forget about our new sponsor, the Crazy Hernandez Brothers. If you're in the market for new flooring, shop at Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, where every day is a deal. No gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR, FLOOR, or go to HernandezWholesaleFlooring.net. No sale beats wholesale. Take it away, producer Funchy.
Thank you, Christopher. And this is the best Batman right here. Literally the best Batman.
The original, you're saying with Michael
The original
Keaton
with Michael Keaton,
and
Jack Nicholson, and the soundtrack.
I mean, I don't know about that. I would say I think the Christopher Nolan Batman movies were the best ones, and then this is like the next best one.
I know, but Jack Nicholson as a Joker.
Yeah, no, he was great. Don't get me wrong, but it was a little cartoonish, even though it was dark for the time.
Yes, it was.
In '89, but in retrospect, much more cartoonish than the Nolan Batman movies.
Funchy, I don't
Cappy
have a strong
doesn't watch
opinion.
any of them, so
I don't have a strong opinion on this. I don't watch any of them.
You never seen a Batman movie?
You never saw the one with Michael Keaton?
Yeah, come on. It was in 1989.
I don't
It's in your alley.
I know, and I love Michael Keaton. You know, he's a Pittsburgh guy. Yins are going to go down over there and watch Michael Keaton in that.
Did you watch Gung Ho with Michael Keaton? Oh, I love that movie.
But I watched like
Cap,
Jumpin'
you don't
Jack
really
Flash.
watch movies, Jumpin' Jack Flash with Whoopi Goldberg?
No, what's the one
Michael
with
Keaton wasn't in that.
No, Michael Keaton in the one where he's the mortician. Bam, bam, he's Jumpin' Jack Flash. You guys don't know that movie?
Are you saying Beetlejuice?
Night Shift.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mr. Mom.
No, I love Beetlejuice. But the Batman, the whole like comic thing doesn't do much for me.
I actually liked the movie he did, Birdman, which was like
Birdman was great.
like a mockumentary.
I didn't like how it was shot though.
Oh,
in
no,
that
I
one
liked it.
shot.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
No, I liked it. It was dark. It was deep.
Yeah. I didn't see the new Beetlejuice though. I probably should.
I haven't seen the new Beetlejuice.
Me neither.
But yeah, the Nolan Batmans are great. Cappy, you like ass kicking. You would love the Nolan Batmans.
You could have not said kicking, and you would have been fine right there.
Correct. I mean, Christian Bale is like just a better acting version
He
of
really
Reacher.
is. I mean, he might be the actor of our generation.
Better what than
I
who?
mean, it's like you like Reacher, and like Christian Bale is like. It's like the action of Reacher, or better, I would say.
Yeah,
I love Reacher.
And also, he's like a great actor.
He would kick
Reacher's amazing.
ass.
And Reacher
He
is
ain't
just
kicking no Reacher's ass.
Kick his ass.
Oh, yeah. Christian Bale Batman is absolutely kicking Reacher's ass.
Didn't we have this conversation one time only to find out that Christian Bale is like some MMA jiu-jitsu dude or something?
I don't know if he is.
Or
or
like
isn't.
a
I don't
black
remember.
belt. Because then I was like, Reacher will kick his freaking ass. And I was like, no, he won't, because he's like a real martial artist in real life. I don't know if that's
No,
true.
we were talking about somebody else. It wasn't
Who was
Christian
it?
Bale.
Who was
But I remember I vaguely remember the conversation. I'm sure someone in the audience will tweet us.
Yeah, Radio Michael will know.
Yeah, he always knows.
Right.
Anyway, go ahead, Funchy. Sorry.
All right, guys. According to the New York Times, NFL teams eat about 80,000 Uncrustables during halftimes each season. The league has a rule that teams are required to provide 3 dozen sliced oranges for halftime for the visiting team. I don't know why. But most players prefer Uncrustables. So the question here, guys,
I don't
is,
like Uncrustables that much.
Oh, really? I was going to say,
Uncrustables.
like, when eating at PB&J, do you like strawberry or grape jelly or jam?
Easy for me.
I probably prefer grape if I had to, but I don't love PB&J that much. Like, I don't have it like on a regular basis. It's not like a Hispanic.
Like, you might
thing,
have
I
it
gotta
like
be honest
maybe
with you.
like 3 times a year.
Yeah, like we didn't grow up on that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a Hispanic thing.
Not
huh?
like my people didn't grow up on that stuff. Now
no?
my kids, they did for a little bit, but you know, like they like that stuff a little bit, but they've grown up more anglicized.
Oh, really? The anglicized kids?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mateo will eat anything, as you've seen, I'm sure, but like that's really not like it doesn't matter what culture it is. It could be Hispanic food, it could be Asian food, it could be traditional American fare.
That young brother will eat anything.
Pretty much. But yeah, PB&J is just not my thing. Like I've had an Uncrustable, it's fine. You know what I mean? We have them at the house, and the kids occasionally will eat them, but it's not like a thing.
I also do not eat them regularly, but if you said to me, hey, which one would you rather have, the strawberry Uncrustable or the grape Uncrustable, Strawberry wins like 51-49.
Wow, 51-49?
Yeah, it's not like overwhelming at all. It's not like 75-25 strawberry over grape. It's 51-49. I could take either or, but I would choose strawberry. And by the way, I freaking love Uncrustables. Don't eat them often. Don't have them in the house, but they're damn good. Especially warm, by the way. They need to be room temperature, not cold.
Microwave them for like 10 seconds. Maybe less than that.
I don't do that, but
DeAndre?
I love the Uncrustables, man. Whenever I go to the media room for Lakers, you have to. You have to grab one.
That is my go-to food.
They are always gone too, so that's how you know Uncrustables.
I know why. I found this out why they're gone by the time anyone gets in there. The cheerleaders take them all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do. They, that's all they snack on. That's how they keep their cheerleading, figure, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start eating more of them then, so I can have my cheerleading figure.
All right. Las Vegas had a big day today.
Just out there.
Yeah, they just broke ground on a $1.75 billion ballpark for the A's today.
Oh, really? They broke ground today?
Yeah, they broke ground today.
Oh, cool.
They had a big ceremony, blah, 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 with a bunch of politicians and stuff. It's going to be a 33,000-seat stadium, and it's going to be ready by the spring of 2028.
Okay.
Baseball, is it going to survive, and is it going to do good in Vegas, Cappy?
I would think it's going to do just fine in Vegas. The idea of making the stadium only 33,000 seats was smart. You don't want to have a 45,000-seat stadium in Vegas for baseball. It's too hard. It's too hot. You just don't want to do that. So create demand by having fewer seats available. As far as like everybody wanting to go to Vegas to see the Raiders play because their team is there to play the Raiders, I don't know that it has the exact same effect because, let's face it, who wants to go to Vegas in July and August? But there is a roof, as I understand it, and I don't know, the renderings of the ballpark look amazing. And look, Vegas has become a great sports city. Raiders, NHL hockey, now Major
who's
League
building
Baseball?
the stadium? Because Vegas was very against building the stadium.
It can't be the owners of the A's because those guys had no money when they were in Oakland. They can't have all of a sudden money to build a stadium.
I mean,
in
it could be
Vegas.
they could be in cahoots with one of the casinos to build.
Well, and the other thing, George, is remember when the Raiders moved there, it was the Bank of America, and it was the city of Vegas, and I think the county of whatever county it is. But there was all kinds of money that was being used there, and it wasn't Mark Davis, and it wasn't the Raiders.
Galactio Sports Partners are a sports finance company that's helping raise the funding for the company or for the stadium.
Okay.
All right. Well, I plan on going to my first Raider game this year. I've never been to a Raider game in that stadium, so planning on heading out there now that I'm Raider Cap.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. We got one more, guys. Speaking of radio times about his just about everything or whatever, Rod Stewart dove into his warm-up routine. While some singers warm up for a show with tea or hot water with honey and lemon, Stewart has decidedly a different concoction to get his voice in performance mode. I always have a little gargle before I go on of rum and Coke, he said. He's been drinking that for 40 years. I never drink it any other time. The vocal cords need a lot of looking after. I mean, they're absolute gold. So, guys, what is your pre-show routine? Like every show, what do you have to do before your show?
Before this show?
Yeah, before this
George,
show.
You got a
or
routine to warm up the throat, George?
I mean, nothing really like in particular, no.
No?
I
You don't have to
thought
get
I've
ready?
seen
You don't
you.
have to-
I like drinking a lot of water during the show.
No, but I've heard you before the show. You usually find yourself in the bathroom. I always hear you going like this. La 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 la. La 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 la. And I'm like, George, is that you? What are you doing? And you're like, yeah, I'm just warming up the throat.
I've never actually done that, but that is funny. So Skip Bayless, I remember when I was in Bristol, I used to fill in on that show sometimes back in the early days when it was him and Stephen A. But I also used to fill in for Greeny on Mike and Mike back in those days. And back then in like 2013, 14-ish range, those shows were filmed on the same set. They just had like a divider between the two, okay? So like literally the wall behind Mike and Mike would just kind of open, and then it would be the first take set. So I remember one time we had like long breaks during Mike and Mike. So I went to the restroom one time. It was like 9:30. The show would be over at 10 Eastern, And I saw Skip in there, and he's like kind of doing, like looking at himself in the mirror, and you could tell he's kind of like reciting his takes kind of to himself in like a low voice, and kind of like looking at himself in the mirror. And he was always a super nice guy to me, but I always found that to be like, oh, that's kind of how he gets ready to be in the mode, you know, and to get into like first take mode or whatever.
Take rehearsal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not la 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 la.
Nah, he wouldn't do that.
Okay.
By the way, Royce Tony says it was Tom Hardy who would kick Breacher's ass.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Tom
He's
Hardy.
Bane. Bane in the movie.
Yeah,
That's right.
He was Bane. He was.
You ever do this?
Yeah.
You ever do this to warm up your voice?
Yeah.
You ever do that?
No. Uh-oh.
Something to consider.
Uh-oh.
Tell me.
Remember how there was talk that the Lakers could look for a big man from Dallas, maybe try to see if they can convince him to get Daniel Gafford in the deal?
They're not going after Anthony Davis?
No.
Oh.
Gafford just signed a 3-year deal with the Mavericks. So that means he's not even he can't be tradable even if they wanted to. Damn.
That's it. Season's over. Don't even play it.
I'm just saying, like, that's one less big man available.
And if they got him, let me tell you something right now, they'd be the automatic favorite.
Well, according to that guy, DNA KT.
Yep, right.
Anyway, go ahead, Fungi. You got one more, or are you good?
I'm good.
Really? That's it? You're done, huh?
That's it. We got a break.
All right.
Got things to do. You got to tell us about Seller's Advantage. And then I want to talk some Dodgers in a minute. And then there's also this living Nostradamus who's talking about your boy Belichick.
Got to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let me talk about Seller's Advantage because, listen, you cannot drive around L.A. You can be on any freeway out there, 405, 5, 710, 110, 10, you name the freeway. You will see Damon and the crew from Seller's Advantage. They got more billboards. I don't know who has more billboards around town. It could be Jacob and Ronnie. It could be Avner Gatt. I don't know. It could be Seller's Advantage. They're just everywhere. And selling your home doesn't have to be a hassle when you use Seller's Advantage because when you utilize Seller's Advantage, skip the agents, forget about paying commissions, and don't worry about investing money into a home that you're trying to sell. By the time you would pay for the repairs and then pay the agent fees on top, you could have already sold your home, and you're going to be surprised at what a competitive cash offer looks like. I think you're going to be actually really, really impressed. So they make selling fast. They make selling easy. You'll never have to worry about the deal falling through because we're ready to do this deal immediately, and we pay cash at Seller's Advantage. And by the way, we want to make this thing happen quickly. We're even willing in certain cases to offer you $20,000 for moving costs to inspire this thing to go quicker. So get your free, no-obligation cash offer today by calling Seller's Advantage, 888-390-AS-IS, like that's how we want to buy your house, as is. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747. Or you can visit us online at sellersadvantage.com.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
Last night, I come home yesterday afternoon, and I watching the Dodgers, make myself some lunch, make myself some dinner, but because I'm an adult who knows how to live a normal life, I clean up after myself. Do my dishes, put them in the dishwasher, clean up, wipe down the counters. Everything looks just like when I had it. Then 2 of my 3 children come home. Within a half an hour, it looked like somebody had taken my house like a snow globe and shaken it up with crap everywhere. There's food on the counter. There's dishes in the thing. There's laundry strewn throughout the entire house. And I'm like, thank you.
Strewn.
That's the correct usage.
I believe it is the correct.
Okay.
I just didn't expect you to use it.
I'm an educated man, Andy. We don't mess around at UC Santa Barbara and Arcadia High. We get
abbreviated.
Yeah, we don't get abbreviated there.
Travis and DeMarco tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Don't miss Travis and DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News and World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? Just 9 miles from downtown LA and near the 710 freeway, it's completely reimagined with new ownership, renovations, and upgraded amenities. We're also home to California's largest card room jackpot ever, $3.7 million. New players score $30 in match play when they say, Cappy sent me. Park West Bicycle Casino, come see what everyone's talking about.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GGR 001291. GAR 001292. PSIS license number 1358.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Happy birthday. He turned 69 today. Randy Jackson from American Idol. And on this day in 1981, Tom Tom Club released their self-titled album. And yes, Genius of Love was on it. Sedano and Cap. Cappy's a genius of love, we think. Continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Oh, come on. This was the original, and then, of course, it was remade. How many years ago was this song remade?
Well, Mariah Carey sampled it, too.
No, but there was a more recent edition of it, too.
I don't know, but this is a band that you didn't know was white.
I did not know that either.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a second.
No, it was like one of those bands out they played us a lot on the R&B stations or rap stations or whatever, and then you find out,
Yeah. Sometimes them Blanco brothers can get down.
They could, seriously. And this is, I believe she was a part of the Talking Heads, too, the person that did this song.
Who dat?
This girl.
What's her name?
I forgot.
Bum, bum, ba-dum. Boo-doo. Da-ba-doo-doo.
Big Energy was the most recent remake of this song.
But I want to know who Funchy's talking about. That was the Talking Heads.
No.
What's that?
Lotto.
Okay.
Yeah, the girl from the Talking Heads made this song.
Yeah.
There's one girl from the Talking Heads.
She made this song. Lennox?
No.
No, who am I thinking of? That's who's the girl from the Talking Heads? I don't know. You got me. You stumped me here, Funch.
Tina Weymouth.
There you go.
That's her name.
Cappy, Shohei, your guy.
Yep.
You want to do it? Go ahead, do it.
Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani.
Looked good last time out. Another inning yesterday.
Yeah, he looked a lot better, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
He had 2 strikeouts, no hits, obviously no runs, no walks.
Right.
Yeah, Ohtani looked great yesterday for an inning.
Looked great at the plate. Yeah.
Well, he was amazing yesterday offensively. Gets caught, like, people don't really talk about these kinds of things because everybody's so consumed with Ohtani, not only pitching, but then, of course, what he does with the bat. But, George, I love the heart and soul guy. My boy Max Muncy, that's a heart and soul guy. Okay? Grand slam and a 3-run home run, 7 RBIs yesterday, and a big win over the Nationals. I mean, the problem is that when you go from this series, 4 games against the Padres, where they're throwing at each other and they're hitting each other and the managers are fighting, and it's a combustible situation.
Yeah.
It's a big letdown when you go from that series to the National Series. In the case of the Padres, they went from the Dodgers to the Royals, and I was like, it's gonna take me a few days to regenerate desire to watch, because Dodgers Padres, there's nothing like it.
No. I don't know about nothing like it, but it's been fun for sure.
There's nothing in baseball that does it for me like Padres-Dodgers. You can't sell me on
because the gutty little Padres really, really want to beat the Dodgers.
Oh, there's no doubt they do. Yeah. There's no doubt.
That's what's in.
That is what's in.
Yeah.
That's what's in.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but now the Nats in the pod squad.
Yeah, that's not so exciting either. But the one thing about that series is that when the Padres several years back traded for Juan Soto, they gave up a lot to get him.
Right.
And the kids who are now like becoming stars for the Nationals, even though they're not very good, like a pitcher, Mackenzie Gore. There's a kid named Wood who's like a 6'5", 260 guy who's a monster masher who's got 21 home runs already this year.
The monster mash?
And then you've got C.J. Abrams, the shortstop, who's also got like 11 home runs so far this year.
By the way, I want to watch the series against Kansas City with the Dodgers. Bobby Witt Jr. is one of the best players in baseball. Like, to me, I wish they were playing at Dodger Stadium. Like, I would totally go to watch that because I want to see Bobby Witt Jr. Like, the last 2 years, last year I went to see a Milwaukee game because I wanted to see Jackson Chourio. The year before that, Ellie De La Cruz. I like going to watch these young guys. I mean, Bobby Witt's been around a little longer than those guys now too, but I like going to watch the other teams' like best young players too. Like, that's fun.
The kid for Kansas City, since you're talking about Kansas City, and I didn't really watch a whole lot of them this past weekend.
Yeah.
They've got a right fielder who's like one of these big kids, like 6'5", 240, who 2 years ago was a first-round draft choice out of the University of Florida. And he's one of those guys that rather than like getting drafted out of high school and it takes 3, 4, 5 years till you finally get to the big leagues, this is a guy who was drafted out of Florida, and a season and a half later he's in the major leagues.
Right.
So I always love stories like that of guys who fast-track their way to the big leagues, but Kansas City and Washington don't do much for me when I'm coming off the Padres and the Dodgers.
Oh, that's the kid, that Passan tweeted about the other day, that they brought him up and all like the baseball people were all freaking out because, to your point, he like fast-tracked to the major leagues. Jack something or other. Caglione or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He made a great play yesterday on a ball that looked like it was going to be a home run. He went up and he robbed Jackson Merrill.
Yeah.
It was the same play that Fernando Tatis should have made last week against Will Smith when Will Smith hit that game-winning walk-off home run.
Right.
Tatis should have caught that ball.
Tatis.
Yeah.
It's called Tatis.
Exactly. Pepe. It is. But yeah, I wish I'm actually looking for like a series to go watch the Dodgers. Like I went earlier this year, obviously already, when the Cubs were in town. But I'd like to go. I like to go at least once or twice in the summertime. Like July is usually a good time for me to do that. So
well, I got news for you, buddy.
Yeah.
You, me, and we can do uno o dos o tres Loco Hernandez hermanos.
Right, yeah.
The Hernandez brothers, we keep talking to Steven going, yo, we want to go see a Dodger game
that
with you
they're
guys.
coming in studio this week.
When? What day?
26th.
That's later
Thursday.
this week, yeah. I start a vacation as of Wednesday.
Oh.
I'm going away for a couple of days.
Look at that.
Yeah. Works out perfectly because next week's the 4th of July, so you already kind of have a day off.
Yeah.
So I got like an extended break here before you take your extended break.
Right. I'm trying to see.
You going to miss me?
Maybe.
Just a little bit?
Depends on who's filling in.
Yeah.
If Mike's filling in, then we're good.
Oh,
yeah. Beto's filling in, we're good. You know what I mean?
You're fine.
The Cam brothers filling in, we're good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
Ramona.
Andy. Ramona fills in.
Fill in, we're good.
You're fine, right.
Yeah.
Then you don't miss me.
Right. Now, if I get like some random person that has never filled in before, it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Morales?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
I mean, I think Morales could hang. I don't know. I've never done like a full show with Morales now that I think about it.
Okay. I have.
Yeah?
It's quite the pleasurable experience. let me
I'm
tell you.
sure. But I think I could corral him a little better than you could.
Yeah, there's no corralling. I can't corral. You could corral. Me, no corral.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Dodgers are away a lot in the second half of July when I'd be back, so that's not going to work. Maybe August?
When is Summer League?
Summer League, for me, will start the 15th. I'm
So
not
you
going
think-
the first weekend.
Okay.
I'm doing play-by-play in the middle, all the way basically up until the championship rounds, and then I'll do some play-by-play in the morning, and then I'll do the semifinal and final on sideline with Dave Pash as the play-by-play guy.
Yeah, because Lindsay's been hitting me up going, hey, let's go to the Summer League. Let's
You
go to
should
Vegas.
go to Summer League.
I would go. I would go for a day or two. You know?
Yeah, you should.
She's like, I got this whole thing handled.
No, I've
Because
never been
she's-
to Summer League.
You've never been? You
never
love
been to
it.
Summer League.
First of all, here's what I always tell people, and I've seen a lot of 710 listeners there over the years. If you like basketball, it's great. It's cheap.
Oh, then Lindsay's not going to go.
It's cheap. You get I don't know.
Neither are you, Funchy.
I don't know if
Peter.
I don't know if I don't know what the exact pricing is, but I remember for years you could buy a day pass for $30, and you could literally go between
For
the
like
two
5 games, right?
Right,
Yeah.
5 games in each gym.
Yeah.
So you could go back and forth between 10 games all day if you wanted to.
This is when it was at Thomas and Mack.
Well, Thomas and Mack is the big arena, and then they have the Cox Pavilion. Yeah.
I do like going to Christmassy holiday high school basketball tournaments where they bring the best of the best from around the country in, and then you're kind of seeing hey, this guy's going to Duke, and this guy's going to North Carolina, and this guy's headed to Kansas.
Yeah.
And so I love to see those kids when they're really young.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if you're on the verge of seeing kids that are about to walk into the NBA or the G League or whatever.
Right.
So if you're really into it, it sounds fun. I've never gone to the summer league either. DeAndre Lindsay's trying to convince me that I need to go.
Should go.
It's
we'll
fun.
see.
I mean, it's fun.
Go to a pool party?
Now that sounds more like my style. Take off my shirt, show off my cans. I am so fat.
Off that visceral fat.
Ugh, horrible.
So the next 3 weeks, I'm just back to my typical regimen. I did a decent job of working out while I was there, but it's just the hours you're keeping are just hard. When you're on the road this long.
How about eating at midnight? How's that?
Right,
Is that
you're
good for
eating
you?
late. Right, yeah. So it's hard to do my intermittent fasting. It just was, it's not as easy. So these next 3 weeks, I'm back. I'm back on the.
Right, get your life back together.
Correct.
Yep. That's what I'm doing. Baby. I'm taking a week off, and because I got to get my life back together. Seriously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a good thing for people to do.
Yeah.
Vacation, get your head together, or just get your life together.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Cappy, I got we got some football stuff to talk about. And the Nostradamus thing about your boy Belichick.
And that qualifies as football also. So let's get to the top of the 5 o'clock hour. We can go 30 minutes commercial free.
That's next.
A Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday.
The first title of the OKC era is complete. One of the youngest rosters in recent memory has just completed one of the finest seasons in NBA history.
On 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app, plus on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles, we are reacting to the Oklahoma City Thunder's win in 7 games over the Indiana Pacers. Thanks to Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Please enjoy responsibly.
The NBA, the draft, free agency, the offseason, every moment of what the purple and gold on the biggest offseason in history. We have your dose of what's next for the Lakers thanks to Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Flip-flops on. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
The Summer Bash. Live entertainment, carnival food, and freebies all weekend long.
Number 2.
Mosen's Happy Hour, Monday through Thursday, 2 to 5 p.m., and Friday, noon to 5 p.m.
And the number 1 reason.
The $50,000 giveaway. 16 table gamers get $2,500 in promo chips, 6 to 9 p.m., and one winner gets $10,000 cash at 10 p.m., the 29th.
Morongo. Good times.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Hey, it's May. Summer is here. You made it. And one of Jacob and Ronnie's new billboards says, don't just exist, live. It's the kind of message that hits you, especially if you're dealing with the aftermath of a crash or injury. Jacob doesn't just handle cases. He helps people move forward, take their lives back, and get the justice that they deserve. If you've been injured in an accident, don't settle for silence or pain. Call somebody who's been standing up for LA families since the 90s. Jacob will fight for the maximum compensation, and you pay nothing unless he wins. You deserve somebody who will fight for what's right, and Jacob does that every single time. When you call an attorney, you want one who is respected. Call Jacob. He's the real deal. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember, calljacob.com. Proud partner of the Rams, the Lakers, and LAFC.
Call Jacob.
The biggest event of the summer is coming to Honda Center. Saturday, June 28th. Most Valuable Promotions presents global boxing star Jake Paul on his path to becoming world champion. Taking on Mexico's former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. In the co-main event, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez defends his world titles against Cuba's knockout artist, Yuniel Dorticos. Former boxing and UFC champ Holly Holm returns live from the Honda Center on Saturday, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland.
Turn it up, man.
Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing, thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit rfr710.com or call 833-ESPN-710.
Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this? And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Beep-ba-da-bop.
Boom, beena, bop.
Ba-doom, boom.
Bing, da, bop.
Ga-doom, boom, boom.
Bom, beena, bop.
Ba-doom,
Do,
boom.
do, 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 da, bop. You know, yesterday, George, I was leaving Terranea and driving towards Long Beach.
Yeah.
And
When did you go?
I went on Friday afternoon.
Oh, I would. If I look, I'm surprised. You know, I'm actually. You know, I came back home on Friday.
I didn't want to bother you. I thought you're with your family and everything.
Well, I was
You needed
coaching a
as much time.
basketball game on Saturday.
Well, because I even said to
I
Rachel,
would have told you to come be my assistant coach.
I said to Rachel, I go, you see this little area right here? I go, this is where me and George and DeMarco and Beto, like, this is where we park. She's like, oh, you've been here before? I'm like, oh, yeah. And that roller coaster road that leads you there, I don't know what the name of that road is. But
Palos Verdes Drive South.
Bro, that is a...
Well, that's where all the land movement has
It has
created
no
the
street
issues.
there too.
Yeah.
There's like no cement there basically too.
Oh no!
Well, they have to repave it constantly.
Yeah, I've been on that road too. It's like scary.
Right. Scary. You need a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
Well, have you been on it at night?
Oh, dude, forget it. I'm sure it's no good.
Oh, you guys are such wussies.
A bunch of little babies. But anyway, so I was leaving Terranea, and I had on, I don't know what channel it was on Sirius, and I was listening to some music, and all of a sudden, Eminence Front came on, right? I'm driving down the street, and Rachel's looking at me going, really? You have to do that every time the song comes on? I go, that song comes on, and this is my reaction. This, bing, ba-da-bum, yeah. Boom, bing-a-bum. Da-da-da-bum, yeah. Boom. And then the lyrics came. Sunshine. People forget. Doodle bump. Yeah. Boom. Ba bump. Yeah. I mean, I love it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I love it.
I tell you what, man. I love it.
Tell you what, man. It all gets me fired up, man. Like I'm ready to go out and coach an NFL game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, you should have told me. I needed an assistant coach. Luckily one of the dads stepped up, but I was, I found out on Friday I was going to get an assistant coach, but I might have needed one.
Could you imagine, George? You got to understand, going into this weekend at Terranea was Rachel's birthday.
Right. If you would have just told, hey, I'll be back in a few minutes. I got to help George coach a 6-year-old basketball team.
Hey, Rach, I'm going to leave you by the adult pool.
Right.
You order as many cocktails as you want, girl. I'm going to go coach a 7-year-old basketball
6.
game,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
But I'll be back. Don't worry about it. I was in the doghouse going into this weekend.
I can't believe this. Why are you always in the doghouse?
I mean, just the schedule. You know, listen, your wife, she's got her little kids, you know, that she's mommying and everything, and she's a great lady, and she's just taking care of things while you're out there hustling. But we're in like a slightly different stage of life, just a few years older.
Yeah.
And we're trying to like find more time for the things we want to do, not put everything we do into work.
Yeah.
And so I needed this weekend I had to get out of the doghouse, you know? So
yeah.
I'll tell you, man.
I'm just saying, I could have used you. You know,
I know. And I believe me when I tell you, I'd have volunteered in 2 seconds, but it was important this weekend that I put all my energy, all my focus into Rachel. In fact, lose the phone, George.
Yeah.
for
We
all
made
these
great
hours.
progress. You know, we have the kids into like the more experienced group, and then the slightly less experienced group. Slightly less experienced group did really good things this weekend. And the experienced kids did well too. But I like to take the kids with a little bit less experience. We made big strides week 1 to week 2.
The Slegs,
slightly less experienced
group.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
The Slegs.
But they're good kids.
Yeah,
they
I
listen.
bet they are.
At 6 years old, you don't know what you're going to get. But, you know, I'm very quick to be like, guys, eyes on me.
Let's go.
That's what
Everybody
I'm going to do to
pay
you from
attention.
now on.
Let's go. Pay attention.
Yeah. Eyes on me.
You know what I might do to you?
Yeah.
I might make you cry.
Why is that?
I don't know. One time I freaked out at some kid when I was coaching soccer.
You
and the
like
kid
made a
started
kid
crying.
cry?
And his kid started crying.
Oh,
Felt
that's
so
not good.
horrible.
Yeah, you don't want that to
Felt so horrible. I don't know what I said to the kid. I thought he was a good player too. I was probably just bawling him out. I was like, "You're a good athlete. You're a good ball player. You got to put in more effort, kid." And he's like, "Coach, I'm 6." And he started bawling his eyes out. Oh man.
All right,
So-
Cappy, let's talk
yeah.
some football here.
Bye-bye.
So let me ask you a question because, we're getting close here. The Rams are going to be starting here soon. Your Raiders will be starting soon.
Just point of information.
Yeah.
They're my Rams and they're my Raiders.
Oh, they're both. Sorry.
Because I support the LA NFL football teams.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway.
And by the way, the Rams did today announce their dates
camp
of training
dates.
camp.
Yeah. Well, at least for fans, yes.
Right.
So I think you and I, Gregory Arthur Bergman came in to give me the heads up before it was official.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a date you and I are going to go. Let's just say it's very early in the proceedings is what I would
What
say.
am I going to do this year? 2 years ago, I gave Aaron Donald that autographed picture of me and him. It's still up in his office now, framed.
I'm
It's
sure.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Last year, I gave Cooper Kupp the autographed picture of me.
Well,
wearing
basically,
the
every
Manny's
time you
outfit.
give something to someone, they're gone the next
Right.
season.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who do we want gone from the Rams next? Who do I need to give an autographed picture to that we need to kind of move out?
I don't know. I'm just saying, we need to kind of be careful. You're like the Grim Reaper all of a
I
sudden.
want multiple years out of Devontae Adams, right? I want multiple years out of Jared Verse. I want maybe even a year or two more out of Matthew Stafford. So I got to figure this out.
Yeah. What is the area of your biggest area of concern, I would say, with the Rams? I don't think they have a lot of areas of concern, like a position group, I would say. I'd just be curious to get your thoughts.
Mine always is offensive line.
Right.
And what happened last year to this offensive line, it got annihilated in the early part of training camp. It took about 5 or 6 weeks into the regular season to the point where we were like, this O-line is so beat up and so bad that maybe it is time to trade Cooper Kupp. Maybe it is time to think about trading Matthew Stafford. That's where we were about week 5 or 6 last year. So for me, every football team always starts with its
trenches.
offensive line.
No, I'm with you. I would agree with you. But if I were going to give you one more group, because I don't want to say the same thing, I think corner. They certainly went into the offseason kind of with a need. I mean, they've been linked to Jalen Ramsey the whole entire offseason, basically. And there's a reason for that. You know what I mean? So, and by the way, it looked like, we talked about this last week. McVay was like, we don't know if it's going to work, because he's making a lot of money, deservedly so. Our cap situation is not, necessarily where we could just absorb it. We got to figure out what the Dolphins would want, right? He was very open and honest, I thought, all things considered. But it looks like I saw today on NFL Live, I was watching Mina and the crew on NFL Live today, and they were talking about how Jalen Ramsey is back out on the market again. So maybe the Rams do get something done. But to me, O-line for sure. You always want to make sure your O-line is good to go. You have enough depth because there's always going to be an injury at some point. And the same thing with corner. I feel like they're fine, but they could be a little thin there at times. So hence why they've been kicking the tires on bringing back Jalen Ramsey. So, I would agree with you on O-line, and I would throw in corner as one of the areas where I'd like to see them maybe improve a little bit here as we get further into the offseason.
I'll just say this. I know we're kind of getting early into some football talk here, but, before you know it, George, the NBA season ended.
Yeah.
The NHL season ended.
Right.
We're now into the the baseball world where we're going to hit the All-Star break and then we'll be considered dog days. But for me, all I'll be thinking about is the start of training camps.
Right.
It's true that corner could use some what I'll call name improvement, but I think that the beauty of the Rams, at least as of today, and might change if they get Jalen Ramsey, is the front seven, and in particular the depth. We talked about the depth of the Pacers, the depth of Oklahoma City.
Right.
That is one thing that Les Snead has done brilliantly, is knowing that they were going to have to replace Aaron Donald, and with one guy it wasn't going to be enough. Yeah. The way they've drafted defensive linemen and pass rushers has been brilliant. And when you don't have superstar corners, guys who cut off half the field, putting more pressure on a quarterback makes that secondary that much better. Yeah. When the quarterback doesn't have time to throw or he's uncomfortable or he's hit, whatever.
Yeah. And they've got some depth, to your point, up there. But, I mean, it's still the NFL, man. You know what I mean? Like
you need as many big bodies on the defensive line as you can find.
But you also need guys in the back end that can cover. You know, so because sometimes you're going to go up against an offensive line that's very good or having a great day, et cetera, and you're not going to win every individual battle. There's going to be a number of times every game, even with good defensive fronts, where you're going to need those guys back there to do their job.
Yeah, and one other position that could maybe be something to at least keep a look at, to keep an eye on, because I think a lot of us who are following the Rams, we look at last year and we look at the Eagles, and the Eagles go on to win the Super Bowl. But when you think about the Rams on the road in Philadelphia, playing in a massive snowstorm, and still very much alive at the end of that game and having a chance to win it, they didn't do it. They weren't able to execute. They weren't able to win the game. Yeah. They wound up losing the game. It was a very close, very competitive game. Again, cross-country travel, massive change of weather, huge inclement amount of snow, et cetera. So when you think about how close the Rams were to the Eagles last year, and we look at what the Rams did in the draft this year, and how they have, what I think is one of the best coaching staffs in the entire NFL, all those things considered, Devontae Adams, people think, is an upgrade to Cooper Kupp based on Cooper Kupp's availability.
Right, and the ability for Devontae to stretch the field and, big target, et cetera. Yeah.
All these things are reasons to make Rams fans, believe that the Rams are very, very serious Super Bowl contenders this year. There is a little bit of concern, I would say, maybe at the running back position. They drafted a kid. And this past year they drafted a kid. Last year they drafted the kid Corum out of Michigan. Didn't see that much. He kind of got hurt at a point of the season. They drafted this kid Hunter out of Auburn. So when you play in the SEC and you play at a school like Auburn, you're a good player.
Yeah.
We'll see what he really is. And then there's Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
Who, according to some reports, wants like a new contract now.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him for wanting it.
Right, because running backs and whatnot, yeah.
But if I'm the Rams, I think Kyron Williams is a good player.
Yeah.
I don't think he's proven to be.
We fumbled a lot last year.
Right. So he's good. Is he Saquon Barkley good?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I mean, he's one of one.
Is he Christian McCaffrey healthy good?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
But he's very good.
Is he Jonathan Taylor of the Colts?
He's closer to that, but I don't think he's that either. No.
Is he Alvin Kamara of the Saints?
By the way, I mean, Kamara in his prime was incredible, especially as a pass catcher, too.
Is he Josh Jacobs? He's
probably more like Josh Jacobs. I would say he's closer to that. Yeah.
Is he James Conner?
Yeah, he's closer to that.
Okay, so James Conner's a guy who makes $9.5 million.
Right.
Joe Mixon makes $9.9.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, 12. I'm just looking at the highest paid running backs.
I think Mixon is better than him, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, Kyron Williams, when I looked at some of the numbers earlier today, Kyron Williams, I think last year total finished 7th overall amongst all NFL running backs.
Yeah.
He was 7th he played in 16 games.
Yeah.
Had 316 carries. So other than Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, he had more carries than everybody else.
Yeah.
1,299 yards. Averaged over 4 yards per carry, 14 touchdowns. So Kyron Williams had himself quite a big year, and I completely understand why he'd want a new contract. But if I'm the Rams, I subscribe to the theory that unless you are a Saquon Barkley or a Derrick Henry or a Bijan Robinson type guy, I can find other guys to play running back. I don't need to put a lot of money into the position.
Well, that's kind of been the thing, right? Unless you have like a Derrick Henry or a Saquon Barkley, most teams are not paying them big dollars. I mean, Joe Mixon getting like 9 or whatever is pretty standard, I would say. So yeah, I'm genuinely curious to see how it all kind of works itself out. But yeah, I think running back has clearly been the most replaceable position in the sport.
Yeah, across the league, right?
Yeah.
Not just the Rams. That's right.
Yeah. So. Anyway, it's funny because I was looking at I saw this the other day on TV, and the Eagles are obviously the favorite to win the NFC. DeAndre's Eagles, fly Eagles fly, right?
Eagles fly, baby.
Yeah.
ELG.
Number 2. Take a guess at number 2 in the NFC.
Who is picked as the second best team in the NFC?
Well, the second team to if you were the betting odds to win the NFC. So number 1 is the Eagles.
I would say number 2
according to ESPN Bet.
I would probably guess Detroit.
Yes, the Lions are number 2. Is a good guess.
Okay.
All right, number 3.
Things could get a little more complicated here. I would say if it were my list, I'd put the Rams right there.
It is not the Rams.
Okay, don't tell me then. How about Washington?
Washington, yeah, number 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's a tie basically for number 3. So you and I told you it's already not the Rams, so feel free to guess.
Might it be like Green Bay?
It is not Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I
can't imagine it could be Minnesota because they're going to go with a first-time starting quarterback.
Yeah, cold like Minnesota.
Can't be the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas has a new coach with Brian Schottenheimer. Nobody knows what he's doing there.
No. You want a hint?
Tampa Bay?
No. Nope. They're not too far, but they're not there.
Yeah, I'll take a hint because I feel like I've gone through the entire
West Coast
NFC.
team.
Don't tell me San Francisco.
Yeah.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. I was very surprised.
Did they lose a lot of players?
They did. Yeah, they've lost Debo, and they've lost someone else. Who am I missing?
They lost a couple of safeties.
Yeah.
That's like the main.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they have a good coach. You know, they paid their quarterback. I'm curious to see how that works. But, yeah, I was very surprised that the betting market has them ahead of the Rams.
How much further ahead of the Rams?
Just one spot. So it's the Niners and Commanders tied there for 3rd. And then in 5th, tied for 5th, is the Rams and Packers.
I must guess that Vegas probably looks at last year and they go, well, wait a second. McCaffrey was out for most of the year.
They'll bounce back, right, yeah.
Yeah. You know, Debo was, unhappy and turned into a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Ayuk is a receiver.
Ayuk is hurt, right. He'll be hurt to start the season.
Right. He signed late, and then he was hurt, so he was a non-factor last year.
Yeah.
They made Kittle the highest paid tight end in football. They have lost some pieces to their defensive front, but they still got, one of the premier pass rushers in Bosa. So I'm surprised to hear that also. But unless Vegas just thinks that San Francisco is due for a bounce-back season.
Yeah, I guess. But it was a little surprising is what I would say. I would have the Rams higher for sure. I think the Rams – I mean, DeAndre, you're the Eagle fan. Like, of all those teams we just mentioned, wouldn't the Rams be the one that puts the most fear into you as they actually gave you the closest game by a wide margin?
100%, especially how that game went down towards the end. I mean, the Rams legit were one play away of literally going to the Super Bowl, obviously, because I feel like they would have moved on and beaten the Commanders because just how they match up with teams. The Rams winning that playoffs with the, hot. So, I don't know, just the way that their team is on both sides of the field. Obviously, they added a veteran in Devontae Adams. I just feel like the Rams should be at least the favorite to contend against the Eagles.
But I will say Washington, as going into this season,
I don't believe in Washington.
I haven't paid attention.
I think a sophomore slump is a real thing at quarterback.
It might be.
I'm not saying that Jaden Daniels isn't going to be awesome. I'm just saying that teams are going to be a little more familiar with his game now.
That's fair, but I'm just saying this. I haven't had an interest in the Washington Commanders in probably 20 years.
Oh, my God.
At the start of season. This kid last year, what he did, the way he took over this league and made it all the way to the NFC Championship game, I mean, he shocked the world, really. So I'm going to be curious about Washington going into the season. I'll tell you another team, George, that I'm very curious about. Chicago.
Oh, Caleb. They've done a nice job. They added some guys on the O-line, which was terrible last year. They've made some smart additions this offseason.
Well, they not only, Caleb will go into his second year.
Yeah.
And Caleb has a lot to live up to now because this story, I think it got kind of brushed under the rug. I don't remember very many of us really digging too deep into it. But this book that was published about how Caleb, didn't really want to go to Chicago, and then he went and had a meeting with them, and then he finally said, okay, I'll go. I'll take okay, you want to draft me number 1 overall? Fine, I'll actually play for you guys. But, going out and hiring a coach in this guy, Ben Johnson, who was like the hottest offensive coordinator name from Detroit, knowing the division, having, turning Detroit's offense into what it has become. I don't know that it'll happen in year 1, but I, at least as an observer and as a fan, gosh, I want to see what happens to Chicago.
Curious to see if what happens to the Lions. I'm curious to see what happens to the Lions this year because they've lost both their coordinators, right?
Mm-hmm.
And remember what happened to the Eagles when they lost both their coordinators? They took a little bit of a step back, right?
It was a disaster.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see if old Dan Campbell can keep that thing together,
Yeah. Yeah, and listen, since we're talking about the NFC side of things, and we've gotten a little deeper than maybe I would have expected.
Look at that!
Today.
You see?
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, football talk. All it took was basketball season to get over. I mean, all we needed was Game 7 to actually go into the books, and all of a sudden it turned into football season around here.
You see?
And I, for one, am happy about it.
I mean, you're on the precipice of being a ball knower.
I'm pretty close.
Ball knowers. I mean, you are so close. Like, you could taste it.
Oh, listen. If Tyrese Haliburton doesn't get hurt.
Oh, stop. Don't do
that. No. If Tyrese Haliburton doesn't get hurt and Indiana goes on to win.
Oh, if they
do you understand that today I would have been completely unsufferable? You would not have been able to listen to me today. I'd have had you yelling, screaming, and throwing water bottles at me today because all I would have talked about.
Well, listen, I would have had a very short fuse as tired as I am, for sure.
All I would have talked to you about today was that I know more about basketball than you do.
Yeah.
Because I picked Indiana.
By the way, Dave
and you picked Oklahoma City.
Text me last night. I want to. He said text is kind of funny, actually. Hold on, stand by.
Cap would have been saying, I've been saying it all along about Indiana.
I told you, and you know what else I would have been saying, DeAndre?
What's that?
George, I told you all season long.
Yeah,
you're overhyping Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
They're not as good as you say.
McMiniman texted me last night. Captain Thunder, you were correct in your belief. Congrats on a great run.
Captain Thunder. It's great.
Hey, listen, I know what I can see. Okay.
Yeah, I know what I can see, too. What I saw was my best player on my team, Tyrese Haliburton, go down with a torn Achilles in the first quarter. Yeah. That's what I saw. Mm-hmm. And had that not happened, we might be talking about a whole different thing today.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
More than likely not.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We'll never know. But back to this football conversation. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
On the AFC side of things.
Yeah.
The
Chargers. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of smart people that are starting to think, wait a second. Are we inching closer to the Chargers winning the AFC West this year? I don't know, Cappy. All I'm saying is there's some smart people that think that.
Smart people think it every year.
Mm-hmm.
Smart people are like, they've got the best roster in football.
Look at how
they've got a great coach. They've got a great quarterback.
Cappy,
they just went and drafted a great running
back. Much
Yeah.
like the Rams, who I think nailed their last couple of drafts, okay? I think the Chargers nailed their draft this offseason in a way that Harbaugh has an inherent advantage in the draft, I think, at least in the next couple of years, because he recruited pretty much all these guys at some point while he was at Michigan. So he's got a really good base of how good these kids have been for a long time.
Listen, the Chargers, and I've been around that organization before they moved to L.A., deeply involved. I know it. I know the ownership. Coaches have changed. General managers have changed. Players have changed.
Harbaugh's there, though.
But I know that ownership. And I know that one way or another, they always seem to screw things up. And you see, listen, I was rooting for Indiana as hard as I was because I wanted to be right.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to be wrong.
No, but I want the Rams to win the Super Bowl.
No, I
I
understand.
don't want the Chargers. I'd rather have the Rams win the Super Bowl than the Chargers.
But here's what's going to happen. My Raiders.
Oh, stop.
No, don't stop. Don't stop. You have a coach.
7-8 wins. Like, maybe if like everything breaks their way, maybe 9.
Maybe.
No way. But they're probably
listen,
more like a 6, 7, 8 win team.
I'm not telling you the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm not even telling you they're going to win the
Raiders
playoffs this year.
How about this? The Raiders, at best, finish third in the division. At best.
Well, you probably have the best division.
I've nailed pretty much every Raider prediction since I've lived here for like almost a decade.
And at some point, my Raiders are going to prove you wrong. just like you hope your Chargers will prove me wrong.
They're not my Chargers.
Well, you seem to really care about the Chargers now.
You
just want me to be in pain.
I want to make sure.
You want me to hurt.
Perhaps, but what I would say is
perhaps. How about 100%?
It's really more about I just think Harbaugh's really damn good, man.
Harbaugh is good. He's really good. He was really good in San Francisco.
Yeah.
He got to a Super Bowl. He didn't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Doesn't take anything
Lost
away
to his
from
brother.
It doesn't take away from how good of a coach he was.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
The Raiders will be a completely different product this year.
Yes, there will be. I had this conversation with a Raider fan today, actually, one of the camera guys at the TV building, huge Raider fan. And I said to him, dude, they're actually going to be competent. Like, they have a very good defense. I would even say great defense. And now they're going to be able to run the ball. They have a competent coach. They have a quarterback who's average or slightly above.
He is a professional starting quarterback.
Right. So they're going to be fine. They're going to be in games. They're going to win, probably 7 or 8 games, and that'll be a great season for them. And that's cute because that's what they need.
It's probably the best division in football.
Oh, no, it is. I wouldn't even say probably.
So, listen, Kansas City, are they going to come back and win this division and own it like they have all these years?
We'll see. I mean, they have Hollywood Brown for a whole season who was dinged up. Rasheed Rice for a whole season. Like they've got good receivers, I think. And they seem to have now multiple tight ends as Kelsey gets older. So yeah, I think the Chiefs are still going to be really good, and I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to have as bad a season as he had last year. Again, granted, I feel like he didn't have very good receivers to work with last season in particular. But, I think the Chiefs will be the Chiefs in a lot of ways.
I'm not counting Denver out of this division.
Yeah, I think there's going to be I mean, look, I like their head coach. That's another one you and I disagreed on.
We did not agree on that one.
Right. I thought Sean Payton was going to do a really good job there. And I said first year was going to be a mess because he had the whole Russ thing and he had to figure that out financially. Took an $80 million bath on that and then was able to turn it around quickly. I do think he's done a good job with Bo Nix, but I do believe, much like I mentioned with Jaden Daniels, there's going to be a sophomore slump a little there. Now, I don't think Bo Nix is anywhere near as talented as Jaden Daniels, so I think it could affect them more. So, yeah, I don't know where the Broncos are going to fit. I think the whole division is competent at the base, like that's the floor of the division, and that includes the Raiders, which is a big step up from where I've had them in recent years, where I've said they've been inept. So I think that the floor is everyone is at least competent to very good, depending on the sliding scale.
Bo Nix does not have to be Jaden Daniels. All Bo Nix has to do is he has to run the Sean Payton offense, not the Cliff Kingsbury type offense.
Yeah.
And listen, the Raiders may finish fourth. They may, but they may finish fourth in what might be the best division in football. And remember, last year, Denver, San Diego, and Kansas City all made it into the postseason.
L.A.
Who's L.A.?
You said San Diego.
Who are we talking about?
The Chargers, you goof.
Oh, you mean Costa Mesa. I'll give him Costa Mesa. I'm not giving him L.A. I'll give him Costa Mesa. I love the fact that football is now, you got to figure, we're not even to the 4th of July.
Until the Dodgers play somebody interesting.
Hey, Dodgers. Washington ain't doing it for me. Kansas City's not doing it for me.
No,
Just play
I want
the
to talk
Padres.
Kansas City.
Play the Padres.
Yeah, no, Kansas
Play
City.
the Padres and the Giants.
The Nationals, but Kansas City, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm not so into it.
Yeah. Bobby Witt Jr., bro. Didn't you remember his old man pitching?
Bobby Witt Sr.?
He was just Bobby Witt at the time.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. I like a little football talk, though. I'm not even, ready to go.
Look at that. I gave you 30 minutes of football talk.
Uninterrupted.
On the day after the NBA Finals. Now, we did a lot of NBA Finals to start the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice little break, got to tell you.
Look at you. See? Who says I don't do anything for you?
Nice break.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Yeah. What else you got? You got anything else?
Well, I did want to talk about this Bill Belichick situation.
We can do it. We still have 3 more minutes. We have to go to 35, I believe.
Oh, we do? Oh, perfect. Funch, could you set this story up for us? Because this is an interesting story, especially for you, George, going into ACC country this year to call college football games.
I wonder if Coach Belichick will let me do my training camp tour there, because I've got permission from all the other Carolina schools to stop through. So
if I were you, I would not ask Belichick. I would ask his girlfriend. She seems to be the boss.
So this story comes from the Daily Mail. This guy that calls himself the Living Nostradamus.
Yes, I've seen him. Yes, I've seen him.
Now, I just want you to say his name, Funchy. Say his name very slowly.
Ethos Salami, I'm thinking.
Okay.
It says Psychic Ethos Salami.
It kind of sounds like one of those names, like Sal Amy. Anybody seen Sal?
Yeah.
Anybody seen Sal Amy around here? Like
Salome.
Anybody seen Bill? Is Bill Loney around? Is Bill Loney anywhere around here?
It's Ethos, I would imagine, right?
So it kind of sounds like to me like a made-up name.
Athos
like
Salome.
Ethos.
Athos.
Ethos salami.
Well, according to himself, he predicted the coronavirus, Queen Elizabeth dying, and Microsoft.
Right, he's
outage.
like this guy. Everybody
By
thinks
the way,
he's the living Nostradamus.
I also predicted that Queen Elizabeth was going to die at some
Well, at
point.
some
Just
point
to be
she
clear,
was, yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there. Okay, so go ahead. So what does Mr. Salami think about Bill Belichick?
He says there will be no explosive breakup. The bond will quietly fade away like a spiritual contract that's run its course.
Oh, wow, a spiritual contract.
Yeah. He says that he doesn't see the two of them ever making it down the aisle, noting that he predicts a formal marriage will not occur. They will not have children together. And he believes that whatever unites them together is a vibrational POC. Jordan is seeking learning.
A vibrational what?
POC.
What's a POC? Like a chicken pock?
No, like a POC.
Like what? Spell it.
PACT.
Like a pact.
A pact.
I call it POC. You call it pact.
No, you don't call it POC.
No,
you
I've
don't
never
call
heard
it POC.
anyone call it a
Nobody
POC.
has ever
You say
called
tomatoes,
it a pact.
I say tomatoes.
That is not
I
true.
actually thought what
That's
Cappy
not
was
true.
saying. I thought like chicken pock. For real.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, a vibrational pack.
Yeah.
Pact.
Pact. Yeah.
Jordan seeks learning and projection. Jordan seeks learning and projection. Belichick and emotional rejuvenation. So that's what they seek in their life right now.
Okay. Yeah, but living Nostradamus, Salami, whatever this guy's name is, he says they're going to break up and they're not going to have kids. Wow, that's quite a prediction, Mr.
Right.
Living Nostradamus.
Yeah,
you think 75-year-old Bill Belichick is going to impregnate this young lady right here? Come on.
You never know.
I mean, I guess it could happen. Larry
Can
King
happen,
did
yeah.
it, right?
I mean, right, exactly.
Hello.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll see with good old Bill.
Well, if
and-
I were
and
you,
Jordan.
if you want to get into the North Carolina football program, George, forget about talking to Belichick. You talk to Jordan.
Well, I need to unfollow like Pablo Torre if she checks my social media.
Oh, unfollow him
She'll
immediately.
see that
Right.
we follow each other.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Right. Unfollow him.
That will
and
not
unfollow.
work.
Do you follow the one guy from CBS that went there and asked him the questions?
no,
Don't follow that guy either.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, before we get to Big Deal or No Deal, LAX People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investment to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between the terminals, the new consolidated rental car center for your friends and family when they come to visit. For you locals that don't want to drive, Metro trains and buses. For those of you that do want to drive, the economy parking and the kiss and fly lot, Cappy's favorite. So here's the deal. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination. Round trip, 10 minutes or less. Trains will depart every 2 minutes, beginning in early 2026. To learn more, go to this website, lawa.org/ESPN. That's lawa.org/ESPN.
Mason and Ireland on 710.
The biggest show on the radio.
First of all, the buses did not have the money that Mark Walter has. Mark Walter is jumping about 10 levels.
He's worth $6 billion.
Yeah, the buses' money was all tied up within the Lakers. This influx of capital, we're not talking about players. Players do operate under a salary cap.
Yep.
We're talking about everything else. The rest of the league is reacting to this news.
They should be terrified.
They are.
Yeah.
Because now they realize the Lakers are a have when they've been a have-not.
Yep.
It's money to upgrade your facilities and your broadcast deals and your scouting department. Instead of having Rob run the whole department, the whole front office by himself, I would imagine eventually we're going to have like the Council of Elders.
Smartest guys in the room.
That the Dodgers have.
Mason and Ireland. Back tomorrow at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
The NBA, the draft, free agency, the offseason, every moment of what the purple and gold brings to the offseason in this historic offseason. We have your dose of what's next for the Lakers, thanks to Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Located in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, Crypto.com Arena is pulling back the curtain and unveiling new behind-the-scenes VIP tours presented by Delta Airlines, which offers an exclusive look inside one of the world's most iconic sports and entertainment venues. Expert guides will lead small groups through spaces that have hosted legendary sports championships, world-renowned concerts, and epic awards. Guests will also explore the VIP areas and experience the arena's latest renovations. Visit Crypto.com Arena/tours for more info.
NextGen is the official AC, heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. And for a limited time, NextGen is offering $500 off any whole home water purification system. You may not know it, but our water here in SoCal contains pesticides, lead, forever chemicals, chlorine, and more. Call 833-3NEXTGen. That's 833-3NEXGEN. CSLB number 1011173. NextGen, here for you now and for years to come.
NEXGEN. Call 833-3NEXTGen.
Hey guys, you feel it? The days are getting longer, the sun is getting warmer. Looks like our SoCal summer is here. And you know here in California, we are all about choosing chill. From hitting the beach to the best hiking trails to going all out to support our teams, one thing really ties it all together: enjoying an icy cold Coors Light with great friends. Pick up icy cold Coors Light near you or get it delivered to your door today. Visit CHooseChill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly and cheers with icy cold Coors Light.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret? AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Deal in just a moment. On this day back in 2004, White Chicks was released in theaters. And of course, how can you not think of White Chicks and think of this? Sedano and Cap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Downtown, walking fast, faces passive, homebound.
I love the movie White Chicks. My favorite scene in the whole movie is when Terry Crews is dancing in the club, shirt off, doing like his MC Hammer moves.
That is a great
bouncing.
scene. That's a
Dude,
great
he's
scene.
hilarious. I love Terry Crews. Hey, Terry, I know you're listening, my brother. Much love to you, dog.
By the way, you know who was listening to us? I ran into him in Indy because he was one of the Pacers alum who was there. Mark Jackson.
Oh, man.
Was, lives in L.A., so he was telling me he was listening to our nonsense on the radio, and I told him I'm sorry. I apologize.
Man, your boy Cap is crazy.
Yeah, so, but it was great to see Mark. I think he should be a candidate for the Knicks job. I know they're interviewing guys. Taylor Jenkins looks like he might be the front runner now, but I don't
Taylor Jenkins, you mean to tell me she's going from the sidelines to the coach of the Knicks?
You think of Taylor Rooks.
Oh, my bad, y'all. My bad.
Yeah. I was like, Taylor, who are you talking about?
My bad, y'all.
Yeah. Taylor Jenkins, the Memphis Grizzlies coach. But they should interview Mark. I mean, listen, you want to talk about a guy. I mean, he's a Pacer alum because he went to those games, deep with, went to the finals with Reggie and them and those guys. But, I mean, he had a great run as the Knicks point guard, too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Look, I always feel like he really did a good job with the Warriors, and then they went with Kerr after that, and then they won titles. But a lot of the basis for what they were doing, and the way those guys grew, Mark had a big part in that. So I feel like Mark should get another chance, especially with a team like the Knicks. He understands the New York media. He grew up there. He's from New York, played for them. So I hope
good
he
idea.
gets an opportunity.
When are they going to hire Jalen Brunson's dad?
Rick, I like Rick too. I don't think Rick's going to be a head coach, though.
Oh.
Yeah,
I just figured that they do whatever
I like
Jalen
Rick.
want him to do.
Rick's cool, man. I'm a big Rick guy. So.
You like Rick, huh?
Rick has always been cool with me. We go way back now.
All right, are you ready to play a little big deal or no deal?
Yeah, let's do it. Take it away, Funchy.
Thank you, Sedano. So the Aria Hotel in Vegas.
Yeah.
They're getting some slander right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit. So apparently somebody was staying there, and they used a minibar to get some water. Mm-hmm. The water costs
I saw this.
$30.
Wow, that's crazy.
$30 for a bottle of water. They were saying the same water downstairs
Yeah.
was $7 or something like that.
That's
So-
kind of crazy.
Yeah. So is that a big deal? No deal. $30 for a bottle of water.
I would fight with the hotel about it too. I'd be like, "Yo, you're gonna charge me $23 more for a bottle of water instead of going downstairs? Like for real?"
Yeah.
You know what I do? I go down and buy that $7 bottle and put it right back in that minibar. What are you talking about?
Well, once you take
No,
it out
once
the menu,
it's got the sensor.
right? Yeah.
Oh, sensors.
Yeah.
I actually got a story. I was just in Vegas recently, and we went to this restaurant called the Q. It was at the hotel. I think it was called the Fountain Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, the Fountain Blue is amazing.
I was my first time inside of there. Really nice hotel.
Yeah.
But
This place is crazy.
So the waiter comes up and asks, hey, like, you guys like some water? And I'm thinking, like, yeah, well, some tap water, stuff like that. He brings
bottle.
The bottle.
The
The
boss.
actual
Big
bottle
bottle.
water. Yeah. And I, obviously get the tab at the end and charge $11 per bottle. We had like 6, 7 of them. I'm like,
come on, man.
Hey,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
that's not bad.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was looking at it, I was like,
$11 is not terrible.
That is
it's
not
not terrible.
terrible
It's
at
not
all.
terrible, but still, like,
They get you,
look,
man.
I'm
They get you,
I'm from
Vegas.
Palm Springs. They ain't charging no damn water for us.
No,
man.
but you know what? Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. When a waiter comes up to my table and says, "Would you like tap water or would you like bottled water?" You're faced with this thing, this like emotion inside of you. Do I want to come off as looking cheap?
What? No way.
Or-
if you're going to spend
or-
money on a real meal, like,
Right.
you can choose whatever the hell water you want.
Right. Or is tap water just fine? Guess what? I'm low maintenance, okay? I don't need a bottle of water. I don't need to pay $11, $30,
Unless you
$7.
want, like, carbonated water or whatever, sparkling water, that's different. But if you're going to get, like, flat water, just get tap water.
I find that some places now don't even give you the opportunity.
Well,
Like,
like
they're
DeAndre just said.
They're charging you.
Yeah.
And by the way, DeAndre, that hotel, the Fountain Blue, that's the place where Jim Gray and Tom Brady just opened up their sports museum. Did you happen to see that?
I did not know. Except
Oh,
my
yeah.
first time experiencing that.
Oh,
hotel.
dude,
It's really
these
nice.
guys took their own personal collection and they moved all their it's like their own personal Hall of Fame, and they just had their grand opening there not long ago, probably about 2 weeks ago. And I have not been in there yet. I mean, I stayed there a few months ago.
Is there a
but
picture of Jim Gray asking LeBron at the decision if he still bites his nails?
I don't know, and I also don't know if there's a picture of Jim Gray getting on Pete Rose at the All-Star game where Pete was like, "Come on, Jim, I thought you're better than this. Come on." But listen, Jim Gray, to his credit,
Oh, man, he
that guy-
asks. Yeah, he asks.
He knows everybody.
Yeah, he does.
And
Listen,
he's-
I'm not knocking the man.
He knows everybody, Jim Gray.
Yeah.
And buddying up to Tom Brady is the smartest thing he could have ever done. I wish I was friends with Tom Brady,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
You're not.
Nope.
Yeah.
$30 for a bottle of water.
$30,
Hey, look,
man.
I was
Come
trying
on.
not to make a big deal. I mean, $11 ain't bad, but I'm new to the game, man.
You
get
The
three
restaurant-
bottles
the
for
restaurant was
$30.
They
fire.
got you, young buck.
Yep. Yeah,
We
I'm
saw
new to
you
the game.
coming.
I'm new to having money on my own and going up to Vegas to hang with my boys.
Yeah. All right, what's next, Funchy?
All right, got one more. English legend David Beckham has been awarded knighthood by King Charles.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's Sir David Beckham now.
Okay.
To have played for and captained my country was the greatest privilege of my career and literally a boyhood dream come true. Beckham said in the statement about his knighthood. So guys, is this a really big deal to be knighted? Would you be knighted? Would you
Yeah,
like to
I
be
mean,
knighted?
if they wanted
Cappy?
to knight me, I'd let them knight me.
Sir
knight me
George
all day
Sedano.
long.
Sir George
Sir
Sedano.
Scott Kaplan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big deal in their country.
Yeah.
But like honestly, like I'm so annoyed by monarchy. Like, I'm also annoyed by people.
What's wrong?
No, seriously. And I'm annoyed by people that are interested in monarchy. You know what I mean?
A lot of people are interested in monarchy.
I know, and they annoy the hell out of me. Like people who are obsessed with the king, the queen, the prince, the princess of England. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Come on, really? What is this? Medieval times?
Particularly women. They grow up on royalty and princesses and things of that
Women
nature.
want to be princesses.
A lot of the storytelling for young girls, particularly of our age, we're certainly prone to have that kind of storytelling in their life.
Yeah, it's lame.
All right. Well, what are you going to do?
For me, I mean, listen, you guys, everybody do your own thing. I don't
Yeah,
make me
I
so
don't-
judgmental.
I don't
but
really care, but-
I'm not into monarchy. So, in other words, if they wanted to knight me, I'd be like, yo, me, Sir Elton John, me, Sir David Beckham,
You and Little
me,
Cappy.
Sir Paul McCartney, and then me, Sir Scott Kaplan, and then I'm going to bring Little Cappy with me.
Yeah.
You know, and there's half a Sir.
Yeah.
I'm sure King Charles would be cool with that.
King Charles.
All right. What's next, Funchy?
I have a little personal thing. On Saturday,
Okay.
I ate escargot for the first time.
Oh, what did you think? Little snails?
Yeah, little snails.
not into
I
it.
went to
Can't
a
do
little. I did not go to Olive Garden, Sedano.
Right.
I went to a really nice Italian restaurant in Pasadena. I
Okay.
think it was called Mi Place. It's spelled like my place, but
Right.
it's something else. Right. It's right on Colorado. Yes, I had some escargot.
Okay. Did you like it?
What motivated that order?
Well, it was my cousin's birthday.
Right.
This is, you got to do whatever the birthday boy does, whatever he wants or whatever. So, yeah, you wanted some escargot, and let's just say it ran right through me.
Oh, nice. Hey, Funch, I get that, man. I get that. Hey, Funch, do they bring it out in, like, that little container that has, like, the butter in it, and then, like, the little snail is, like, down in the bottom of it?
No, it had, like, a little plate, and it was a lot of oil and stuff like that, and they had a little piece of bread, and you could just put a little snail on a piece of bread and eat it.
I can't do it. I honestly, I can't do it. Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess if I were on, like, a TV show, and they're like, you have to eat this snail. I mean,
what about,
I could do
caviar?
Caviar, I would never order it on my own.
Right.
But if somebody ordered it, I'd put it on one of those little cracker thingies.
Yeah.
Have you had it before?
It's just fishy.
I've never had escargot because I can't even think about doing it.
It's pretty good.
Oh,
it was good. It just
was good.
ran right through me.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's not for me. I can't do it.
Well, that's big deal or no deal. Thank you, Funchy.
Good job, Funchy Lover.
Cappy, what do you got for us?
Is it time?
Yeah, why don't you tell people about your friends at Park West Bicycle Casino?
Oh, I was thinking it was time for the real deal.
No, that's next.
The dealer's choice, yeah. As for Park West Bicycle Casino, it would be my absolute pleasure to tell everybody about it. Listen, you're talking about 9 miles from downtown L.A., so very easy, very convenient, not hard to get to at all. Now, when you show up at the Park West Bicycle Casino, you're going to find out it is all brand new. When you pull up, you're like, oh, damn. Place looks completely different from the last time I was here. When you pull up into the valet, oh, it smells so good. Like, I can't wait to walk in. The lobby's beautiful. The hotel rooms are, Vegas style. They are really, really spectacular. The food, DeAndre, we took down a whole lot of sushi that night.
That sushi was fire.
Seriously, and they had that seared salmon, which was out of this world. So listen, when I tell you about all the tables for blackjack and poker and baccarat, and I tell you about the incredible food, the insane hotel rooms, you're going to love the Park West Bicycle Casino, the all-new, renovated, next-level vibes Park West Bicycle Casino. Oh, yeah, and here's something else you might want to know about. The jackpots. Park West is home to California's largest card room jackpot ever. It's at $3.7 million. So you can win a lot of money, and you can have a hell of a good time. Now, if you're new and you come into the Park West Bicycle Casino, we're going to give you $30 in match play just for signing up at the Players Reward Desk. But I want you to use this phrase. It's very important that you use this phrase. Cappy sent me. So when you get to that Players Reward Desk, you say Cappy sent me, they're going to hit you $10, $20, $30 right there in free play. And you're going to get this little card. And there I am pointing at you. Hey, man, thanks for coming to the Park West Bicycle Casino. You're going to have a great time, and you're going to be a big winner. Park West Bicycle Casino. Real cards, real prizes, real close.
New era, same home.
This could launch the Lakers into the stratosphere.
The Lake Show have a new ownership group led by Mark Walter.
And 710 ESPN had plenty to say.
Is it fair to say maybe some of the biggest news in decades here in LA?
It was breaking news that shook the sports world.
The Buss family is entering an agreement to sell majority ownership of the Lakers to Mark Walter.
But one thing remains the same.
The heart of every Lakers fan beats through 710 ESPN.
Oh, my God, guys. What a day in Lakerland.
From shock to excitement.
From questions to confidence.
This now puts the Lakers in every conversation. Yep. Now there isn't a player they can't afford.
The reaction started right here on 710 ESPN.
This is awesome.
New era for the purple and gold. Same home for the Los Angeles Lakers.
710 ESPN.
Be caller 7 at 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN to win 2 tickets with VIP access to LAX Fan Fest plus 1 autograph by Ahmed Johnson. Listen to Sedano and Cap for your chance to win or visit fanfestlax.com for tickets.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
On this Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday final segment right now. That's our final segment. Music. Have a great night, would you? Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetsky's coming up right now at the top of the hour. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. for a live Imaging Tuesday. That's right, pal. Sedano and Cap final segment, your Monday afternoon right now.
She stood there bright as the sun on that California coast.
All right, Cappy, tell us about the real deal.
Hey, the Dealer's Choice Real Deal brought to you by Seller's Advantage. If you want to sell your house before you call an agent, call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy it with an as-is competitive cash offer, no repairs needed. So they make selling easy, and you should call them. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS. Get that no-obligation offer or visit sellersadvantage.com. Hey, George, we don't have much time left, but I got to send out some love and congratulations. And I'll make the story brief. About 6 weeks ago or so, my friend Jim Lampley, bang, bang, bang.
Right, he was on the show.
Jim Lampley came to L.A. Prior to that, he was in San Diego, and he was signing his book. And his book is just a great read. Anybody who loves boxing history, you got to read it. Anybody who loves the history of broadcasting, you got to read it. George, you're on the sidelines for all these games. I spent 20 years roaming sidelines of NFL games. We would not have sideline reporters if it wasn't for Jim Lampley, who was the very first one.
Right.
Jim was very upset because at a book signing, somebody asked him in a Q&A afterwards, whatever happened to Max Kellerman? Now, Max is a familiar name to people here in L.A., and especially 710 listeners. Since Max left ESPN, he's gone underground. A lot of people who I know who know Max well are like, we can't get a hold of him, including Jim. So I want to say congratulations to Max Kellerman because, George, I don't know if you saw the story today. Did you see the news on Max?
Yeah, I guess they're working for that new boxing syndicate, right?
So there's a fight that's coming in September with Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. And this is a fight that people have wanted to see for a really
years.
long time.
Yeah.
Not only are you going to see the fight, But Max, who is one of the most well-respected, really well-liked boxing commentators, Max will make his return to boxing and to broadcasting in September for this Canelo Alvarez-Terrence Crawford fight. So, Max, I know you're out there listening somewhere. I know you got a lot of friends who still listen to 710. You have been missed, and we look forward to hearing you call this fight. That's
right.
That's right. That is right. Yes.
That's what's in.
Yes. And that's right.
That's right.
That's right.
You tell him.
I miss Max.
So do I. I'm going to try and get a hold of him, see if we can get him on.
Feel free. Why are you laughing, Funch?
He's like Bigfoot, man. So
he's good luck.
Like,
right, but
he's like the Yeti.
But you know what? But hey, but listen, Funchy, there has been a Max Kellerman sighting.
Right.
That's what they say about Bigfoot too.
Yeah. All right, we're done here, Cappy.
Great day.
Excellent. Andy Kamenetsky's coming up next.
Come on, Andy.
Right, with Lakers talk. Great job, Funchy. The guys in the back, the circle, Christopher, DeAndre, Cappy. Excellent work as always. We'll talk to you mañana. See ya.
Hey, DeMarco Farr here. Join the club at Pechanga Resort Casino. New club members who sign up receive a $25 resort credit as well as a chance to win $100.
I couldn't see my children. Then I showed up in court and was told they may not be mine. Then I was accused of anything and everything. Sexual assault, domestic violence, substance abuse. You name it, I heard it. I was forced to go long periods of time without seeing my children. That experience of being wrongfully treated ignited something in me. I can look at a father and honestly tell him, I know how he is feeling. I've been there. At Real Father's Rights, we care about your family, your livelihood,